blast off.
Can we talk now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yay!
We're
Talking is awesome.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, that would have sucked.
That was like an hour of the most awkward silence.
I know.
This
And like,
entire thing.
I don't think I can hang out with you
just
anymore.
sit
It's
there
just
and look at
like,
each other.
ew.
Yeah.
I mean, after that.
Thank you,
Times have
Sax
changed.
Car, for
I mean,
your
what were those?
subscribers.
Yay.
I said things that,
Well, you said them with your eyes.
non-verbally, yeah. That's
All right.
the worst way to say things.
We're rather here or we're not, depending on whether or not my phone is accurately representing the fact that we are a black screen.
Ooh.
I'm assuming we're here. All right, good.
All right.
My phone's just being dumb. Hi everybody. Hi Braid. Oh, that was the one. Okay, hold on 1 second. Yeah.
Yes.
Braid.
Things are happening.
How you doing, Braid? Let's
So-
chat now.
Nope. And we've confirmed there's sound
Yep,
because
I heard
they
that.
heard it. You can go ahead and put this in the middle. Braid is also with you and will eat 5 hits.
Well, at least Mario doesn't go crazy anymore and won't murder her.
Yeah, we're good.
So there's that.
Yeah, that's a
You might
start.
still have to murder her,
I
though.
left it on masks. What do you want me to
I will
do?
always think of you as
Oh,
a
does it
meat
still say we're
shield, Braid.
masks? I don't know how changeable that is in this way.
Once we start the stream.
Too hard. Let me give it a shot.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out. Hi, everybody. You're watching Phoenix Dawn Masks. This is on Saving Masks, which is a show on Masks.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
It's getting gentrified up in here.
Right. This is the final. While they're figuring out how to change the descriptione,
What? No, I'm doing it. Yes.
as many of you may have guessed by the fact that I am currently running everything over at Geek and Sundry, I is out of time. Not like, exciting Back to the Future style out of time, but more like no bandwidth, no life, no time to sleep. So I am going to step down as the Marshal of Phoenix Dawn Command for Season 2. Who then, you might wonder, is going to be running Season 2 for you? Well, I'll tell you. It is Mac. Mac is, yes, congratulations, Mac. Which not only is a wonderful choice for Season 2 of this fantastic game, and someone who is deeply passionate about this game, its plot, its characters, and everything we're doing with it, but also increases the amount of female DMs that are streaming live, which the world needs way more of.
Heard.
So, yes, so please
FDM.
to support Mac in every possible way. Obviously, Season 2 involves another Wing of Phoenixes and all of their exciting stories. Much of that I am setting up in the things we're doing today and have done for previous weeks. Everyone at this table, with the exception of myself, will be a regular on that show. Mac as the Marshal, these three fine gents are going to be players in that game. And we're adding Blythe, who you might know from other things, as the fourth member of the Wing. So that's going to be really fantastic. I don't know the exact start date of that, do you?
We're going to be starting on March 25th.
March 25th.
And then we'll be off for a week for WonderCon, because that sounds good. Let's go ahead and have one day where we're on, and then the next week, screw with everyone. And then we'll be coming back actually for a charity stream, so that our second episode of Season 2 will be a charity stream, so there will be more details coming up about that.
Yeah. And that's going to, then that goes for 10-ish weeks, is that the idea?
No, about 10 or
Yeah.
whatever until the chat goes, oh God, this was a horrible idea, please make her
Right.
leave.
So it'll
And then we will all fight them.
yes.
How many did this go?
What's that?
How many did this go?
This is
7 fucking months.
Yeah. So it'll be about 10
God,
weeks of that
yeah.
arc, and that now I say arc too because it isn't necessarily a season. If the second wing is still sort of developing, we'll probably go on with another whole arc of
No,
that.
I plan on killing all of them in 10 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see if you can. It's harder than you think.
No, I really don't think that'll
Oh.
happen, but I have to have like a goal to aim for. It's like, when you make that chart with the little,
Yeah.
thermostat thing and you're just trying
Yeah.
to fill it up to the top with death.
Yeah. Yep. You know that death chart you guys make?
My death
Everyone has
stat.
one.
Is that like a vision board? What is that
deathometer?
exactly?
Yeah, I like deathometer.
The secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have a Pinterest board of gruesome ways that you might die.
That's nice.
It's private.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
because otherwise we're on a watch list.
Yeah, of course. But also, because it's Pinterest, you get 17 emails a day. Like, is this another way you'd like someone to die?
Yes, it is.
We found
Add
9
to
ways to
board.
die you might be interested in. Also, please send more personal information to Pinterest.
Defenestration? I
Yeah.
didn't even know that was a thing.
Well, that's going to be in
Dropped through a
episode 3.
window, Yeah.
keep enjoying Pinterest until it starts sorting through your garbage. All right, so
Never gonna happen.
yeah, so that's where we're going for season 2 of this show. I will be back on that show as a mysterious character that many of you may or may not enjoy. And
Sounds like a Star Trek slate
yeah,
or
very
something.
good. Yeah, but we'll have more of that soon. Obviously, I don't plan on being separate from Saving Throw in any major way. But as you know, working 12-hour days in a row has made it sometimes impossible for me to be cogent on this show. This is probably the right choice.
That's fine, but we're gonna miss you.
Yeah, thank you very much, everybody. I love this show and I love this game. Phoenix Dawn Command is still available, I should point out, as in retail. You can go to the website, which I'm sure Braid is diving right on right now. And please support Keith Baker and everything he does. Also, Ilamat is probably going to be available, I think, in retail now or soon. And Keith will be visiting us at some point. I should also point out that, as promised, between Season 1 and Season 2, we will do a Patreon backers only stream in which we build an entire NPC wing that Mac can then use as supporting characters. And Keith is down for that. So all that's going to happen. Also, the art for the 5 character cards, we're going to do all 5, including Atmos, is...
It's no, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Just slide under the table, I'll be fine.
It's just a blank card.
Some
Just a
fog.
question mark.
So all 5 of those cards are in process. We're slowly getting together all the resources we need for those cards. I think they're going to be, if you play Phoenix Dawn Command, there's like a sort of class of card which you add to a deck, which is not a talent or a trait, but it's sort of like your heroic card. For
Like a
example.
reward card.
Yeah, and they'll
Like
all
a,
be
like a buff.
Yeah.
Okay.
there'll be specific cards like that, and we'll make them available as sort of a print-on-demand style for you guys here, so you can make them for your own home games, or you can make a wonderful sort of 5-way. I guess it's not a triptych, pentic.
Okay, well, just...
What?
Yes, that sounds great.
What was it? You're concerned about putting?
He's concerned about 5 ways.
He was
5
thinking
ways.
about menage a cinq.
Yes.
Yes, that was...
Well, as they say,
it was
many
more about
hands
the
makes a lot
nomenclature.
work.
Don't let Josh shame you. If 5 of you want to fuck, we're not going to stop you.
At what point does it cease being menage and just turn into an orgy?
Yeah.
I was just...
Where's the line?
Well, I
There
mean,
was no
the French
consent on my
says that
part.
sex is like work. If you do it well, you are sweaty at the end.
Thank you, Firewolf.
To literally answer your question, 5 people not wearing shoes is an orgy.
Oh, hey!
Apparently you're just in 5 ways.
Yep.
The
Thanks
orgy
for
sound
joining
effect we
us.
so enjoy.
Oh my
The
God.
traditional Zelda orgy sound effect.
And real quick, Christian Linke suggested that Thanatometer for you.
Oh.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Thanatometer.
I'm going to write
Alright.
that down. I might put it on the wall back there just to fuck with everyone.
Sure.
I'm going to write that down. I'm not kidding.
No.
Thank you, Christian Linke.
All right.
it a
Well,
dumpster
this
fire?
Amazon dumpster fire has stopped working. So go ahead and just yell at me any donations we get. Speaking,
Is it plugged in?
it is. Yeah. Yeah.
button?
Yeah. Press the button. Oh, did I press the right button?
Have you
I
tried
don't know.
turning it on and off again?
I think I got it working. I'll go through this
You're
ad
the wrong
that makes
IT
you
crowd
watch.
character, and you know it.
All right. So
Are
speaking
you
of
implying
donations,
I'm Moss?
No.
Because I'm not Jen.
You can still
You're-
make donations with cash or with your
Yes.
XP, which you get from watching the show, for additional redraws or for environmental objects, which they can use to get additional cards. All that is available in the donations document, which is going to be shared with you. For cash only, you can use flares. Flares are positive or negative things that affect a character, positive in combat, negative socially. I've disabled negative flares today because we have a lot of plot to get through, and as charming as it is to make Mac into a puppy, you can find a dollar amount that will get that happen on your own time, but or a friend. But the
Hashtag Max Pack.
oh
Yeah, that started on Misadventures.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Max Pack started on Misadventures because they really want me to bite other characters and turn them all into werewolves now.
Well, why not? That's what all of us want secretly.
The littlest lycanthrope.
Yeah. Please continue to support Mac's career to the point where we can do a Mac-focused werewolf movie that is everyone like America wants, like by demand. Everyone's like, hey, here's this movie in which Mac becomes a werewolf. Oh, hello.
Hey.
Free draw from Smiley the Ogre.
Thank you,
Oh.
Smiley. Matt 510. Matt 510.
What do you got, Steve?
Oh, let's see what he got.
It's Matt
Thanks,
510.
Matt
Yeah.
510.
I'm just happy you're here.
There's just so
That's
many
all.
things happening.
So yeah, I do think that like the sort of I want the what is it like AV Squad or
AV
AV
Club?
Club article about like Mac, a famous internet personality, has created a werewolf movie based on popular demand, which is now in theaters. Go see
The rise of
Get
Mac
Out.
Bowie.
Yeah,
I have so many dreams.
Max Pack is a good name for Max Fan Club. Oh,
Oh,
everyone
I
in
need
Nowhere.
buttons.
Okay, cool.
I need buttons.
Matt
you
510
go.
has bought you Everywhere and Nowhere.
Woo!
Go ahead and activate that at your interest.
Okay.
So,
Thank you,
yeah.
Matt 510.
Yeah.
You're a sweetheart.
Oh, here, take this. This will be much more clearly a different than
Okay.
redraw one. Oh, Weird War 1 in which she plays a werewolf. Christian Linke is going on a Mac rant here.
Actually,
I mean, if anybody wants to put up the money for a werewolf movie, let me know. I'm there.
Well, actually, Christian, Mac and I were talking about something before the show about a game that we'd like to see at some point later on,
Yeah.
at some point on Saving Throw. That's
Maybe
not too
for
far
the
from
next
that.
charity stream.
Yes, that's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Although that would also make a really good movie script.
Yeah.
The idea that you came up with.
Get on it, guys. Get
Yeah.
on it.
Kickstart.
All
Anyway,
we're saying
sorry.
is, if you're willing to make an $8 donation for a flare, you're willing to make an $80,000 donation to make a movie happen, right? That's logical.
Totally.
It's a game of inches.
Yep. Okay, so let's get started. This is, if you're watching for the first time, this is the wrong one to dive in on. But if you're watching for the first time, Phoenix Dawn Command is a game played with cards instead of dice, and in which you level up by dying. So each one of these characters started as a mortal, and then on their first death, their mortal death, they were brought back by mysterious forces to fight evil as a phoenix. Phoenixes are sort of like superheroes, but in a Greco-Roman / medieval context. And every time they die, they get stronger, up to 7 deaths, in which case they pass on to what is after this. All of our characters are either 7th or 6th rank, meaning that Mac and Mike and Josh are all basically on their last lives, where Chan here has 1 more left. And so it is a... It's very small.
One of us. One of us. Peer
Google
pressure to
double,
burn
Google
out.
double.
And they all get, so now they're extremely powerful. And it turns out that phoenixes, like a lot of other sort of magical creatures in the world they live in, are actually sort of a magical constructs created by ancient cultures in a world before now as their sort of weapons of war against each other. So the phoenixes were created to allow those peoples to basically be unkillable and stronger, and other cultures created other different magical constructs. The Fallen are an example thereof. So too are the Chant. They're all basically magical weapons or magical servants. And over millennia, the code, if you will, of those magic constructs has become corrupted, and they've all become what they are today. So the fact that the Fallen are personified creatures that sort of prey on people or whatever is all non-intentional. And the Phoenixes are what they are today after millennia of sort of slowly working amongst themselves into what they are. There's about 100 Phoenixes at any given time, and these Phoenixes are living on the sort of bones of the previous administration of Phoenixes, and what that means, no one's really sure. We've discovered that the great evil that is plaguing this entire land is the Hectarch. One of these creations that was sort of a doomsday device that was activated millions of years ago or millennia ago, and then eventually shut down by basically restarting the world.
Mm-hmm.
They essentially killed everyone at once so that the conditions by which the Hectarch's end game could be triggered, and it would shut off. But somehow it has been woken back up, and it is corrupting all the other magical entities around and using them as to wage war on the living world. I should also point out that there
That's why
are
we can't have nice things.
I just want to. There are several layers of this existence. There's the daylit world, which is sort of our regular world, which is where the phoenixes tend to live their lives and where all the mortals live. And then there is the
Children,
dusk,
please.
which stands between the daylit world and sort of the thing that comes after. And the dusk is like a Feywild / upside down style universe wherein all the magical constructs essentially live in their primary forms and project themselves into the daylit world. And that's also where the crucibles are, which are the sort of testing worlds where phoenixes grow from one level to another. And also there is the Hektarch. And so all of our characters have entered the dusk physically through Halfsbridge, a magical sort of bridge between these two worlds, where they have broken out, they've jailbroken so many phoenixes that are in their crucibles. They now have an army of phoenixes that are like sort of mid-crucible that are helping them, as well as a couple of phoenixes that have joined them here physically. Soldier, one who was literally taught by these two initially.
That was a bad plan, man. That was a bad thing.
Soldier has crossed over to the dusk to support the two of you, and Braid, who is a long-standing friend of this wing, has chosen to leave temporarily her wing to cross into the dusk and support this wing of phoenixes. It's not really clear what happens in the dusk when you die, whether you can come back again. Atmos has, but you weren't even in the dusk when that happened. You did it while you were in the space between.
Yeah.
So Braid is taking their remaining lives in her hands by coming here to support you. All the rest of the phoenixes here are on their crucible, and in theory, if they die, will just be reborn. But that's not really clear either. So.
Find out. Maybe in season 2.
We'll find out.
Unless I
Yay.
forget
To be
or
continued.
don't care.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good time. So let's introduce your characters. So give us, this is the last episode, give us the sort of long play. Where'd you start? Where'd you go? Let's start with you, Mac.
Oh, good lord. So, as you know, I am Mac Weapons Rack Beauvais. I am playing Varia, who is a bitter. She started out as a berserker from the Grimwaldi tribe in the Grimwald. Funny. She basically got shanked by the Bone Army and came back, and she had started to meld with the wolf pelt that she was wearing, and so with each subsequent death, she's become more and more of a giant monster werewolf. She was also kind of losing herself more and more as she was coming back, becoming more bestial, more out of control, until finally she got taken down by Ink, and she came back a little less fucked up, but he came back a little more fucked up, so that's cool. She's a little more calm now, but she is still essentially a giant 8-foot werewolf.
As you do.
Yeah.
As one does.
In the style of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like wearing an onion on your belt.
I'm Robert Chan, and this is Erie, who is your
Thanks,
average.
Firewolf.
Firewolf, I
Yeah.
love you. Not like in a weird way. I just love you.
There is no weird love.
I love
All
you,
love
weird
is
way.
All love is weird, let's be honest.
It's true.
Yeah.
Anyway,
or nothing. He was your average 9-year-old boy who's with a single mom who was into some business. She got like a
Smile and nod, Zach. Smile and nod.
disreputable, but not I mean, it's a family-friendly show, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, it really is.
Sometimes.
lots of swears. I don't know.
So many swears.
She was murdered, and Erie was murdered at the same time. He came back after a 1,000-year crucible, and every consecutive time he was forced to go through another 1,000 years in which he replayed the circumstances of his death over and over and over again, which sort of created the psychology of not so much figuring things out as just willing to just persistence, just willing to keep doing the thing over and over again until a thing got done. As he's grown in power, he's grown less in tune with reality. It sort of feels like either reality is rejecting him or vice versa, but it's sort of becoming just kind of like a smudge that's difficult to focus on or to even see in this plane of existence, and he's pretty fast.
Can't
Pretty
even
fast.
bleach pen him out.
Nope.
It's just a smudge that won't go away.
Yep.
Thank you to Firewolf for Shadow Wolf, which
thank you.
will give you one of the exciting special powers to use when you want
Thank you.
tokens, and that is 3 redraws.
Thank you.
Ooh.
I mean, if it wasn't, it is now. Thanks, Amazon Dumpster Fire. All right, so what do you got?
I'm Joshua Dempster. I'm like, wow, can't even focus right now. I'm
right.
Joshua Dempster, and I'm
Does anyone
playing
ever call you a
Atmos.
Dempster Fire? I feel like that term's been going around a lot, and I mean, I don't
May
want
as
to.
well.
I was gonna say those people are
May as
assholes,
well.
right?
No,
We can
they're
all agree-
definitely
yeah,
assholes.
yeah, yeah.
Now
Anyone
we're
would think of
there.
something
But
like
I
that
also
is just
kind
the
of love it,
worst.
though.
Yeah,
you
now
should
we're
own.
there.
You should own that.
So I am Dempster Fire.
Change all your social media.
Dumpster fire.
Hashtag Dempster Fire.
You ruined the poor man. You just barely started the show.
That's what you got for having normal jobs.
Flashbacks to my childhood.
Bully.
Does this count as cyberbullying? We are on the internet.
Trigger. I've been triggered.
And I'll be playing Atmos, who joined this Dempster Fire of a wing
Yeah.
to keep tabs on them following the loss of their beloved devoted Ildaria.
Yeah. Idaria.
Idaria.
Idalia.
Idalia.
And well,
I don't know. It's been so long.
I
was the famous Phoenix, not her. I don't know.
And you're, I want to say, Idaria?
But not long after I joined the wing, I was erased from history by a wayward Phoenix who joined them when I was inconveniently knocked out in battle. So since then, I've returned to reality as an unknown, and I'm doing my best to make my mark on the world. But it's tough when your wing is a Dempster Fire.
Please, season 2. Let's name that wing Dempster Fire. The Dempster Fire wing.
Dempster Fire. And of late, things have been getting a little bit dark for Atmos as he realizes that the Phoenixes, who he is proud to be a part of, are maybe not what he thought they were. And yeah, we'll see. He just sacrificed his life to bring himself and Ink and some friends back to the daylight world, and we'll see how that plays out.
Ink and Pals.
That's amazing.
I would not watch
friends.
that show.
No, you probably shouldn't. And I'm Michael Holmes. I play Ink, the Shrouded, and Ink's had an interesting trajectory in this past 7 months. He started out as a reborn scholar in the mortal world who was really focused on learning as much as he could about the chant and the dread to help better defeat it. But each time he spent more time in his crucible with his subsequent resurrections, he began to learn kind of more about the nature of reality and kind of how fucked up it really is. And especially having made the pact with the puppeteer to rid the waking world of the chant, that kind of clued him into some really heavy-duty shit. And then especially when he sacrificed his life to take down Varia, to take in some of her darkness, he has taken a very dramatic turn in his approach
Oh,
to the world.
sure. Blame it on Varia. Thanks,
It's circumstantial.
Dick.
You know what?
I'd watch that show.
Blame it on
Blame it on. Oh, Varia. You so correct.
Far, did you
track,
just remember
laugh track.
the postman?
Varia! So currently Ink is on his last reincarnation.
Hey, what's up, Elkins
Welcome,
97?
Elkins.
And based especially on the last adventure, he is very seriously questioning the position of the Phoenixes in the world, kind of the nature of existence, and whether or not really anything should be continued to, or should be allowed to continue. So let's see what happens with her friendly neighborhood ninja librarian today.
What is
Yay!
happening?
And now a small children's choir by Chan's phone.
Is it the kids of Whitney High?
All right, so
It's always creepy children's choir coming out of my phone.
Well, I mean, it's very Eerie-esque.
Must make meetings really difficult.
all right, so we start in the dusk where all of you has
Why are you giggling? That can't be good.
because for no reason Wolfman, who is our wonderful producer today, along with obviously Stephen Pope, who you might have seen in the previous show, has written as a donation a Three Musketeers bar for anyone who wants it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, that was you.
That's
All
so-
right.
That's a huge Three
I want
Musketeers
that
bar.
Three Musketeers bar, chat. Whoa!
Oh.
Throw directly at the camera.
Apply directly
And
to
the
the camera.
alcohol.
Can we,
Let the gay Jew throw. Okay.
can we get a little focus there?
Jews are known for athletic prowess.
Should we make chat donate so
Hey.
that I have to eat, so I can actually eat
I
it?
got a
Otherwise it
name
just
for you,
sits
my
here,
friend,
and I have
David.
to stare at it.
Like V Goliath. You know that thing, that whole thing?
Yeah.
Sandy
Well,
Kaufman?
now I'm definitely eating this fucking candy
Yeah.
bar.
Read the Bible.
Ernie Kovac? Well,
Andy Kaufman.
Fun fact: David was trying to throw it over Goliath.
Not well, but he did.
He missed so bad he killed him.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oy
So
vey.
culturally insensitive. All right, Ted.
That's fine.
Thanks for giving us the
There's-
blanket
there's enough
exception on
Jews
that
in
one,
here, it's
Stephen. All right,
fine.
so
Yes, we're in the dusk.
all right, you're in the dusk in the sort of rallying point where you have all basically it's on a border between the Crucible system and the rest of the dusk, where you found entry into the Crucibles and then found a way to break them and travel from one to another. Where about 75 nascent phoenixes and yourself have all sort of come together for a raid on the Hektarch, which you know to be basically like set up on the coast across from where Pyre is in the dusk. And you don't know much about it. You haven't really been there per se. You've all traveled here by sort of various different ways. I know that you both arrived in different places when you came back from your little adventure, and the two of you arrived in the daylit world and had to come here again, which is where Braid and Soldier joined your party. But you're all arriving here now, and the nascent phoenixes that of various levels are all sort of a little bit still not sure what's going on. They know that you've taken them out of their crucibles, but there's definitely a large amount of them that are like, this is the weirdest crucible ever. And there's a lot of places to go with this. But there's others who seem to understand what's going on, and they're willing to take it to the fight to this big evil. So without much information about where you're actually going or what's going on, what is your plan, and what are you trying to sort of sell onto these phoenixes?
I'm not there, am I?
You're all there
We're
now.
all there.
You all come here to come together.
Okay.
I told you this plan would work and we'd be able to get the phoenixes out.
Yeah, very simple plan. It's worked out so well so far.
I don't want to talk about what you guys did because whatever bullshit Eerie and I went through,
What are you afraid of, Varya?
in what sense?
The truest sense. What's your greatest fear?
Ooh, that's usually her line.
I don't have to tell you that.
You don't.
You haven't been honest with me lately, so why should I be honest with you?
Ask me anything. I'll tell you the truth.
If you're
What are
interested in
you
being part of
really-
his AMA, you can go to Reddit. Go ahead.
What are you really thinking at this point?
We have to defeat the Hektarch, don't we?
Yes. Thanks, Pope.
Pope.
Who's right there?
Pope.
You stooge.
Finally, the Pope has donated. Like,
We have to defeat the Hektarch. We've assembled our forces to do that. Whatever Atmos and I encountered on our journeys will help us on our way.
And you know that we might not walk away from that, right?
Yes. Is that what you're afraid of?
That's what I've been heading towards this whole time.
Three draws from Mr.
You
Pope.
once told me that the afterlife of your people that you were promised is now what was delivered to you, correct?
Because this happened, so no, it hasn't.
So if nothing comes beyond that, is that any more disappointing to you than what you've already experienced? To put it this way, if we meet our final end after the battle with the Hectarch, is it any more disappointing than not being able to run in the fields and fight with your kin?
After all of this, to have it over, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Then you have nothing to fear.
I'm not worried about me.
You've nothing to worry about with me? I've been saying for literally months now that there's nothing after this. If this is our final end, to defeat the very threat to the fabric of existence, what greater death is there?
And you're sure that you think that threat is only the Hectarch? That's what I'm talking about. Shall we go?
Soldier walks up, sort of seeing the.
It's like
Oh,
awkward.
Soldier walks up, seeing the two of you, and is like, "I don't trust him. He doesn't have the best intent. If it comes down to it, I'll protect you."
Misguided, but trying. I appreciate
It's
that.
dangerous to go alone. Here, take me.
Da-na-na, creep. All right, so I'm an old man in a cave.
I imagine at this point, Various to make she's like looking down at him is like,
Soldier, for whatever reason, has a massive shield now, like each incarnation.
He's just a giant, like, bouncing shield.
Yeah, no, he isn't a shield, but
this
he's like
isn't okay.
It's like one of those bad roguelike games where like he has like a really comically large shield and a small armored body.
19!
Yay! Nice. All right.
Has he turned into Swole?
Yeah, he's armored.
Hey guys!
Armored.
No, absolutely not. No. He's already messed up enough. Leave the poor Phoenix alone. Eerie and I already destroyed this guy.
The few, mostly the shrouded and elemental phoenixes that are, the shrouded and the Durant phoenixes that you've rescued from the crucibles are already sort of drawing up. Okay, so it looks like all of your special abilities are triggered for when you need them.
I've already got one.
Yeah, no, it's Night Seeds has done the other two.
Galleon Man and Burning Chrome.
Yep.
Woo!
So I'll give you guys these.
Thank you.
Burning Chrome is a William Gibson reference, by the way.
Thank you, Night Steeds, for that. All right, so they're already just, like, drawing up plans of attack, as is their nature. I'll take one of those too. If there's more available.
Yeah, let's drink all the beers.
There's
We
also
have
more
Lagunitas.
delicious
we
mead.
have some hard root beer. There is delicious mead. We have Racer 5.
There's not a lot of meat
I'll take a
left,
Racer
so,
5.
and I filled up pretty much most of this horn already.
The Drink Guinness show on Saving Throw.
We're gonna drink.
Let's all go to the small fridge.
Is everybody done on meat? Otherwise, I'm just gonna dump what's left in here.
Let's all go get drunk.
Actually, do you have some in your cup?
Oh, yeah.
I've never had any.
Well,
That's right.
Just take some from the
Yeah,
fucking
take
horn.
some.
Drink the horn.
May I drink from your horn?
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
ship that.
Is this what you've
confusingly.
been waiting for, everyone?
It's happening!
What's happening?
Aw.
Okay, not that many. things.
That's honey wine. Yeah,
Right?
that's exactly what that is.
Okay.
That's truth in advertising.
Send your mead to the P.O. Box being posted in the chat room now. All right, so
But send us your fan art. Don't do it.
But do it. But don't do it. But do it. But don't.
like honey wine, horns, fur everywhere. I don't know.
yeah. Send us your fan art or a link directly to 4chan. To the, all
That's
right.
you 4 times, right?
It's 4chan. To be fair, if it was
Think of how insufferable one is.
Just so long as it's
Well,
next season, I don't have to
now
have
to be
4
fair,
chans at the table.
This time next week, there will be 2 of you.
yeah.
Oh, that's true.
I need a Photoshop of 4chan. Just like doing different things.
That's an upcoming emote is the 4chan emote. Where you just have Chan's face 4 times, and we post it whenever you say something terrible, chat. Doesn't happen much on this show.
Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste.
Yeah. All right, Sarah.
Lord.
Which reminds me, if you need any more incentive to subscribe, subscribing allows you to give a redraw or re-roll to a player of your choice, which could be now. And the more subscribers we have, the more emotes we have. We already have a Varia/Mac emote pre-made and ready to go up as soon as you guys unlock that tier O emotes. Get on it now before, some interesting thing happens in another show and we fall in love with that, and that becomes the next emote of the...
Wait, people fell in love with this?
Yeah. Sorry.
I have ships.
That is true.
Yes,
Multiple
so many
ships
ships.
just waiting to set sail.
Yes. Much like Columbus, this show has launched 3 ships. Wait, no, he didn't. He launched 1 ship. The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria were totally unrelated.
What's the third?
No, that was...
Those are 3 ships.
Yeah, but they weren't his, were they? I thought
Okay,
those were
one,
Pilgrim ships.
Yeah.
2.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
the third?
I don't know.
Don't come
3?
for history. Come for the
Let's combine
entertainment.
them?
The
Are
historically
we getting
accurate
back to
podcast.
the 5-way?
These are the faces.
Can we
that-
not?
No, let's. Yes.
Yes.
So we got Varia Inc.
Very Inc.
Variant,
Variant.
yeah.
Varink. Is that what
Vari
it's called?
Vari
Inc. I think or something.
We got Atmos Inc.
Yeah.
The Ink Mouse?
Inkmos.
Inkmos.
Yeah, because I kept posting that when I was watching you guys playing.
Yeah.
Because I'm a dick.
And I can't. God. Before Josh joined, what was her name?
It was Dahlia, so it was like what,
Varia
like
Inc.
Thank you, King,
King
Quark.
Quark.
What's
King
up,
Quark?
Quark?
Was that like Eerie Dahlia or
I think it's Vidalia.
Vidalia?
Wait,
Oh.
what?
Oh.
That's-
Was that a thing?
Wow.
Weird.
That's a thing.
I didn't
Wow.
realize it until now, but I shipped that as well.
Genius.
Oh
The
my!
fact that
Sorry,
anyone
Ken, you don't get
ships a
Why doesn't
character
anybody
that's a
ship
giant
me?
wizard.
No,
Because you-
puppeteering.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before we actually get into the game,
Yeah.
I'm going to use the restroom.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I think we've.
Oh my
Since we
By the way, I want to
entered
point
the
out that
podcast,
like the new version of Saving Throw, where we do about 10 episode seasons, if you will, is designed specifically to have more last episodes like this that are amazing. All right, so
Or something.
yes, I also am going to 10-1. So it's time. We'll
And I get to hold up my sign like at
Yeah.
least 6 times.
we'll spread. Ooh.
Yeah.
We'll spread out the plugs today over the course of the show. So go ahead and plug those of you who are still here. I'll be right back.
Oh, man.
So I actually recently watched Lemmy Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, and it was fucking rad. Watch the shit out of it. The end.
Yay. Why don't you go, Chan, while I go through my brain?
Yeah, guys, talk because I have a candy bar to eat. So.
You've only had one of the musketeers.
Do you know how difficult it is to eat with the fangs in?
I can't even imagine.
I've done it once. They get loose, and then you're just like done. I'm not eating
No,
again.
these ones don't.
Oh wow.
These don't have glue or anything. They are custom made to my mouth.
I have a friend who's a dental technician and makes fangs. She made her first pair. If anybody's interested in fangs, let me know.
There's your plug.
And I'll put you into. Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. I'm done. Chan.
Or Cavalero Fangs, who made these, which.
Man, what have I got now? I was on that. I was on ABXY over on Geek and Sundry a week or two ago. That was a lot of fun. Tweet them and tell them to bring me back. So I want to go get some of those tasty mints from the front of the Geek and Sundry office.
Wait, you got mint?
Yeah.
Big dreams.
There's like a big drawer.
dreams.
There's like
Hey,
there's like
wait
a
for the good shit.
there's a bowl of mints. There's a bowl of gum. A bowl of gum. Just a bunch of gum.
This cost me $1.50. They get it for free.
Right. Right. I'm gonna go in there and just
What
load up.
What the fuck? No, don't invite him back. I want to go.
I mean,
Well,
yeah,
not
they're
enough
funded. They're
Wolfmen.
funded by some big Chinese movie making, huh?
Lionsgate.
No, Legendary, right?
Legendary.
Yeah.
Wanda, I think. Is
Legendary is also on the Warner
Something
Brothers
like
lot,
that, yeah.
though.
Legendary got bought by this dude.
Real quick.
What-
Legendary used to be on the Warner Brothers.
Oh, they moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they're out in Burbank.
It sounds like we're almost ready to get together again. You're hearing the dulcet tones of Wolfman Dave. I didn't have anything to plug.
That's
I
the
just
other
wanted to
ship.
give you a beautiful,
There's his voice and everyone at this table.
just to give you a beautiful, sonorous experience. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
No.
Mwah.
Although you didn't need to.
What?
I think I actually do have a thing.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Is it something you can talk about in public?
Well, I mean, it's one of the
With your
things I
pants
can.
on?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, what
It's
did
not
I
that
walk
My
into?
pants aren't on, Wolfman.
Yeah.
Why do you
Make
think
it for
we
Boy
have
Scout.
him sitting in front and the camera angled the right way? I mean, come on,
Yeah.
guys.
Good thing you're in the back, man.
Me and Wolf don't have pants.
I don't got no pants.
No
I don't
pants.
know. how
Pants
many
are the
of you
problem,
guys
not the
have-
Ain't
solution.
got no pants.
So
Nobody
if you
cares.
like food at all,
Yes, food
watch
is good.
Chef's Table.
No.
It is one of the best shows on Netflix.
Can
at
I
all.
eat the food that's being made in the show?
No, unless
Then
you
I don't
have
care.
lots of money to travel
Nope.
or lots of money to spend on
No,
ridiculous food
no.
here in LA.
No.
But
garbage.
it's a mostly fantastic show that profiles amazing chefs around the world who have Michelin stars in the best restaurants in the world, and their approaches to food are often enlightening in ways you wouldn't expect. The first episode of this most recent season is a monk in China who just cooks for her
Like a monastery?
yeah, for her monastery.
Sorry, sidebar. Wouldn't that be a nun?
She is a
Okay,
nun.
just making
But
sure.
she, a Buddhist,
Right, but
I
there's
think-
Buddhist
I
monks
think-
and there's Buddhist nuns.
a Buddhist
so
nun.
yeah.
But she has cooked for chefs all over the world because one chef, I think like Eric Ripert, discovered her. He's a Buddhist and traveled to her monastery and decided to take her around the world and be like, guys, you need to eat this because it's a life-changing experience. And so it's that kind of show where you actually go to the monastery and spend the time with this woman who cooks food that is absolutely amazing. It
I-
takes you to places, travel food.
I can't watch food shows because I'm already I'm like, I'll watch an ad on TV and I'm like, screw you, I'm not buying that. I'm really susceptible to food in movies and TV though. I can't tell you how much pie and coffee I had when I watched Twin Peaks. Like it was like
But
I'd
is
be
it
sitting
a
there watching
bad
an episode and I'd turn to my husband like, honey, go back to the store. I'm out of pie. Go buy me more pie and get some more coffee brewing.
I love how in this story he was already coming back from the store with additional pie.
No, leave your coat on.
For me,
There was so much pie with cheddar cheese melted on top.
it was.
That sounds like a good life.
It was reading Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms, talking
yes.
about the soldiers in the trenches with their like stale ass cheese and their red wine rations. I was like, that actually sounds really, really fucking good.
I
want to be a trench
up,
warfare.
Yeah,
up
right.
until like 6 months after I quit smoking cigarettes, I was that way. Anytime anyone on TV lit a cigarette, I would like have my hand on the pack. Way more than like at a party or drinking. Just like watching a TV character smoke would just get me every time. Yeah. But
Yeah, food's my downfall.
Shall we?
Let's.
all right. Okay, so so the various Phoenixes have essentially started planning as best they can. They've grouped themselves into schools and they're trying to sort of work their best sort of tactics based on their skill sets. So all the elementals are ready to sort of come in early and try and do their best sort of early game nuke to drive out some whatever these enemies may be. And then the Shrouded are going to try and be moving around the flanks, and the various Phoenixes all have like sort of jobs, but they don't actually know what they're up against. And they're sort of looking to the four of you, and to some extent Braid and Soldier as the only like actually currently alive Phoenixes to sort of guide them. And they're sort of waiting. They'll march on your orders.
You understand more about the Hektarch than any of us. Do you want to give them a bit more information? Obviously, some of them don't know they're out of their crucible, so... But some of them, I think, understand what we're up against.
Yeah.
And if they don't, it's bodies.
Yes.
What did he do to you?
I don't understand the question.
Baria, yes, I would love to address the assembled forces.
I'm starting to think this was a bad idea, but go ahead.
Would you say you have a bad feeling about this? Sorry, that's a cultural reference you don't understand.
Weirdly, I got that one. That's what you've done to me, and it's not okay.
May the force be with us, always. Sorry. So yeah, Ink goes to kind of the front of the crowd and doesn't really do anything particular to get their attention, and yet in a few moments, everybody's focus is drawn to him, and he stands aloft. He actually sends a Grimclaw on the ground, and he takes off his uniform, which is the sort of Knight's Watch cloak, kind of like he was wearing before. So he's basically just wearing like Roman garb. This is the most extraordinary circumstances any of us will ever face, in this lifetime or in any other. For some of you, you barely understand the circumstances that you are going through right now, and I want you to perceive this as nothing more than another test in a long series that has no end that you now can see. What we are about to face is almost beyond comprehension. It is a weapon rooted in the very fabric of existence that barely has a physical form. All of your magic words, bring them to bear. All of your arms, raise them high. And even then, my friends, I doubt our ability to defeat this foe, but know that regardless whether we win or lose this day, a victory will be scored, both for the Phoenixes and for the daylight world.
Yeah.
Not done?
But they still cheer at that. You don't get a chance. Oh, okay.
And everything that comes with that will rest on your shoulders the rest of your days.
You know, cheer so much as that.
Walk away.
That was the thing that you did. Because you have not ended on that other note, Ink.
You asked me to say some words, I said some words. What more do you want from me, Varya?
He knows of what he speaks. The world that we know is maybe not what we've seen, so
Gonna
we go to defeat an enemy.
round up all the forcefuls, take them over to a small patch of dirt, take up a stick, draw a circle on it, and go like, okay, we're not really sure what we're going to be up against. That, whatever that is, punch it a lot until you're dead or it's dead. Just keep punching.
You get a
Good talk.
You get a rousing round of high-speed applause.
That's what I like to
What
hear.
is that incessant whirring in my ears?
Don't worry about it.
So a bunch of you know what, Smiley the Ogre, I'm going to honor that redraw for Ink per your donation that did not go through. Thank you very much, Smiley, for attending to give him a redraw. I'm ashamed. It's okay you didn't have the XP today, but keep watching and you'll get it one of these days. Trust me.
I'll make it worth your while. I
You
promise.
get more XP for being
Whoa, that's a
a
whole other
subscriber and more XP for being a Patreon.
Meta
that?
ship.
Yeah.
How do you subscribe on this thing?
You have to subscribe on the website, I think, for it to.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Poke
so-
around on all the-
Sorry, it's persistent cough going on. If I hit the mic at any point with that, I do apologize. All right, so do you want to head off towards where you know the Hekarch to be? All right, so
Well, and I'll say, I'm going to my destiny. Any of you that care to follow me, do so now. The rest of you, come in your time. Time.
yeah.
He means everyone. Everyone come with us now.
We're gonna go punch things
Carrot
now.
symbol,
Alright.
that.
All right, so they start following you. Did the four of you want to hang together as you sort of travel, or
think
like
so.
spread out
Yeah.
amongst
Oh
the
yeah,
ranks? Okay.
I'm keeping an eye on at least two of our wing now.
All right.
And I'm keeping an eye on at least one of our wing.
With after some time, it becomes clear that you're approaching the right place. The best sort of reference I can give you is almost like the Master Control Program style from Tron. Like at some point in the distance, you see like a great column of terrible negative magical energy sort of blasting off into the sky, and it's almost as if this is probably the space either in the daylit world or maybe it was a long time ago of a great ancient city, but it's been entirely blasted out, and you can see sort of terrible, like broiling black necrotic smoke moving out from it, and the energy's blasting off into the world. And as the Hektar gains more and more power, like its physical representation in the dusk grows and grows. And so this is miles out, but you can definitely see it. And you're moving in through this sort of ancient city when things get eerily quiet. And things get quiet in an eerie way, no. Things.
Would you say uncanny?
Yeah, no. It's still eerie. You don't own that phrase.
Unsettling way.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you some environmental objects here.
Ooh, my favorite kind of objects.
All right.
All right.
Which you will note travel from purple to black or black to purple as the marker ran out. Oh, you want to
Start
pull your thing
wearing
back?
purple, wearing purple.
Where's our torch?
Oh. Anyone grab the torch? Is it up there today? Oh no. Hold on. I'm probably sure I have it somewhere.
All right, let's literally just light something on fire and hand it around. That seems good, right?
This is always your plan. This is from iDragon 14, by the way.
Thank
Dragon
you.
14.
All right.
Rolling in the
I have
redross.
several torches, and I don't know where any of them are.
We could have had it all.
No, thank you. Pass. Hard pass.
Hard pass on having it all.
Adele by way of Cookie Monster?
Yes. Tom Waits, maybe.
Oh,
We could have had it all.
Erie,
I
I'm.
listen to that cover.
I know.
Rolling in the
Please punch him in the shoulder.
yeah, he did. He totes did.
You can hear it from here.
You know,
I need to get in the mics, otherwise.
I know. I loved it. I loved it. Yes. Sorry.
Yes, Marshall.
Man,
Erie, I know you might maybe not care. You realize you might come back with none of us around. Our entire wing is going to be gone.
I'm used to being alone.
All right.
All right.
Just thought I would mention that.
Erie, I have a favor to
depressing.
ask of you, though. You run the farthest and the fastest of any of us. If this goes sour, which it is wont to do, get back to Pyre as quick as you can and let them know what is transpiring. Will you do that for me, please?
Pretty sure they'll know.
Will they?
As our flames go out one by one.
I apparently am out of torches right now, so we'll use these Imperial soldiers as a torch. Yes.
Every time you use it,
fire.
an Imperial soldier dies.
Yep. All right. So there's a torch. All right. So
That's the worst It's a Wonderful Life ever.
It's an Imperial life, all right?
so you're in this sort of like you're in the various alleys of this entirely ruined and like long dead city. Environmental objects include a blasted cityscape, debris, an ancient weapons rack, discarded belongings from some poor refugee who perished on their way out of the city, dark fire burning in some of the various garbage cans or buildings or windows, and a caustic wind which travels between the various alleyways.
Would you call this a dark Dempster fire?
Yeah, nope, just a regular dark
Okay.
fire.
All right.
Yeah, we can't afford a dark dumpster fire today.
Break the budget.
So
little
it gets
expensive.
quiet for a second, and then it goes immediately from quiet to very loud as you hear what you recognize very clearly as the chant. Now, it's much clearer and much less garbled than it ever has been before, and turning to run up the hill are not the chanters you expect, but some sort of vague, sort of dark lightning constructs, which you recognize as the chant. Not chanters, it's the chant itself. It's the remnant of the chant which exists in the dusk, and it has been directed entirely at you. So we're going to treat them as chanters and whisperers, but don't imagine they don't have any physical form really. They're just sort of dark magical energy pushed together. We can show those to the peoples.
Sure.
So imagine that, but outlined in sort of a 80s movie drawn later on the film. Terrible lightning neon.
Rotoscoped is what
Yes,
they call that. Yeah.
rotoscoped
Ah, yeah,
chanter
rotoscope.
mob and whisperers.
Ooh.
As he sees that, Ink gets a very devious grin on his face that you see.
I don't like this.
All right.
You have nothing to worry about. You've never had anything less to worry about than what we are about to face right now.
So who wants to square off with the Imperial Sol? Who wants to take the Imperial soldiers?
Oh, all right.
I don't know if this is a little bit too outside the box, but I'm attuned to the weather and can make an intellect/arcane spread to influence local weather conditions.
Okay.
And so I'm going to run. That'll be 16 all told.
Okay.
And I'm going to do my best to disperse the lightning that's holding them together as beings.
Okay. I'll take that. It'll do damage to them, but it won't. You can see like the chant is sort of pulling together like elemental forces to create its shape. And you
Elemental, you
disperse
say?
those, and you disperse those forces with your power. So you can sort of see, it's almost as if like flesh is sloughing off these figures as they sort of draw forward, but it doesn't fully disperse them. It's just a little bit too powerful to let you just like throw it away. But I'll apply the damage to that. So you say it was 16?
Yes.
We'll count that as an attack. So that will do pretty significant damage to
Okay.
some of the chanters.
Then I'm going to burn, if it's a successful attack, burn
Yep.
2 sparks. They're stunned. And the next attack will be brutal damage. So have fun,
Okey-dokey.
guys.
Yes. Can someone cross off the weapon rack? Because you had a similar idea to me. I'm going to give you that just because I want another card in my hand. I'm going to stack my cards here while I can. So my idea was not that dissimilar because of the fact that they seem to be made out of lightning. I'm going to take the weapons rack, but I kind of want to use it to, the metal that's still on the weapons, to ground them. So it's actually like grounding electricity, so it's hopefully like burning them out a little
Okay.
bit.
You're still going to try and swing it through them, I'm assuming, at some point.
Yeah, so hopefully it's like catching them and
All right.
into the ground.
What do you got?
I'm going to go ahead and use crude but effective,
Oh, yeah.
which
How
I
unlike
bet you
you.
would never think I would ever use, ever. So that's going to give me 5. It's the worst. I hate everything. So that's going to give me 11 and 15, but actually, I'm going to go ahead and take a wound so I can flip Grimclaw.
All right.
And
So
at least get a couple more in there, so it's going to be 17.
you watch perhaps as the last time as Varia like basically allows her animalistic nature to take over, and you can actually see like bones pop and muscles grow, and you know like the
Rick Baker
bandolier
style.
of weapons she has like tightens against her as she gains a whole more like, an additional foot of height, but at great physical pain. And then she slams the weapons rack and all of its various metal implements down into the group of chanters, which does a significant amount of damage. But the elemental lightning doesn't follow the same rules as electricity, so it doesn't actually ground them as much as you might hope.
Eerie doing well.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and the Whisperer and the chanters are gonna go in and attack. So this is everybody. Defend 7, please. This is a standard
Let's use
melee
a Shadow
attack.
Wolf there.
All right, so the Shadow Wolf takes off as well, as a gruesome howl indicates your shadow shape diving in the way of damage for you.
Okay, so I've got untouchable in my defense spread, and then my endurance is actually 3, I think.
What does untouchable count for?
It's +5 on defense.
Okay, so it's 5, 2. Yep, you're fine.
Yep.
I can do 5.
5, 6, 7. That's going to be 1 wound. You can take it, or Soldier will take it.
I'll go ahead and take it because right now it's helpful to me, but I also disappear.
Okay,
I got 8.
you're fine.
And 5.
Okay, so you're going to take a wound, unless you want Bray to dive on that one.
No, I'll eat it.
All right.
Can I have a spark back?
Yes, you can, and everyone else. Well, no one else gets any more sparks back because they haven't used them.
Although, actually,
Oh,
I'm
actually,
going to go
2
ahead
sparks.
and
Just
use
kidding. I'm back to top.
2 sparks to give them a burning condition. Or the
Okay.
Führer condition, rather.
Timing, well, I'll give you that because it happens
mean, it's up to
simultaneously.
you,
No,
but-
take one back. Yeah. What's that?
2 sparks per wound.
Oh, go ahead. So you, so they're on Führer.
You are truly an elite hacksaw, my friend.
So much hack.
Elite Hacksaw.
Meanwhile, the Whisperer is
Min-maxer.
going to.
No, stop,
but-
stop. Nope, you're done. Cutting you off.
Season finales, everyone.
Probably for the best, yeah.
The
It's a very
Whisperer
special episode of
I'm
Phoenix
here.
is going
Down
to
Fanatic.
grab
Thank you.
the debris. The Whisperer is more of a like pure eddy of electrical energy and less a human shape. And it grabs a piece of debris, which, like, you know, you see, again, this is like 80s movie style, like lightning reaches out and grabs it, picks it up off the ground, and throws it forward. And they're going to throw it at Varia because you're.
I've disappeared.
Oh, yeah. And they're going to throw it at. Let's see. You already attacked, right? So they're going to throw it at you. So this is an attack 14, standard attack.
Ooh.
Damn, son.
Yeah, dang. Right.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's just
That's
the thing I
cool.
picked up, probably from Ink.
You all right? I learned it by watching you.
I'm gonna start to flip my
Talon.
talon to defense, brace my hammer in front of me, and that gives me 10 all told.
So it's going to be 1 wound from that. And then it's going to try and Piercing Whisper Ink. That's an attack 10.
Okay.
Oh my god, that came up in one of the Happy Jacks things when we were playing Vampire the Masquerade. I'm like, what the hell? It's following me now.
All right. I can do 7 straight
It's in your
up.
deck.
My endurance is 3.
It's an all or nothing, so you need to make 10.
That's the best I can do.
All right. Because this is the pure chant itself, you get 2 copies of the Affliction.
Oh.
Gross.
Yikes.
And I put it in the discard, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But if you can manage to take the whole mob down, it will dissipate.
Okay.
The chant here doesn't have a shard per se, but you can just sort of like atmospherically cleanse it once you've taken them down.
Okay.
All right. So meanwhile, the two of you still have the.
Do you want to go?
Here, have some Imperial
Yeah, let's
soldiers.
see some of that math magic.
It's mathematical.
Yeah, I got nothing this time around.
I'm a mess.
Yeah, I'm just going swinging. God damn it!
All right.
Taking the whole thing and just hackety hack for 10.
How are you using misspent youth on that?
I've
Just like my childhood.
I remember stabbing the chant when I was young.
Well, as you well know, there are electrical storms that he used to when he was much younger. His mom used to take him up on the bluffs near the city, and it would play as the lightning started around. He knows how to to dance with lightning.
All right. I'll go ahead and apply that.
gonna need
So what's the total?
10.
All right. So you managed to dismember the last of what is the terrible terrible energy version of the Chanter mob. So that takes it off the playing field. But the Whisperer is still up and undamaged. Ink.
Porter or
All right.
the hard reader?
The second thing.
I'm take 2. Flipping Grimclaw. So there's +4.
How does that manifest for you?
I feel like the way he's carrying it now, Grimclaw almost just looks like a kind of hand axe. When he flips it, it almost grows to what Varia had when she first became a phoenix. And yet it has the point on the end like his stylus. So it's kind of a weird fusion of both of them.
How does the damage manifest when you activate it? Like, do you slice it on your hand? Do you
Oh,
do your bones snap? Like,
Actually,
when you-
that's fascinating. Yeah, as it kind of increases in mass, it kind of like creates a cut across both his hands, and inky black blood begins to flow down.
awesome.
And maybe his eyes go black because that's always a cool
Oh,
effect.
guys, you made me ink.
He's got stinkmata.
Yeah,
Stinkmata.
Stinkmata. Robert Chan is available for bar mitzvahs.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anything.
Birthday
I'll do
parties,
anything for
standing
fun.
around your office and looking at your boss.
Just hire him, okay?
Try the deal.
So there's
here
4.
till Tuesday.
There's 9.
Why would that happen?
There's 13 all told. I'm gonna bump that up to 15 actually.
Okay. 15. All right. So that is going to be 3 wound levels on it, which is not bad.
Okay.
It turns back to you. It's its action. Let's see.
Yes, let's see.
All right, so it turns back to you as you attack it, like driving the axe deep into its sort of like strange eddy of form. You can sort of see a consciousness there. It remembers you, and it knows that you were involved in the pact to like deny it access to the daylit world. And then the 2 like crumbled buildings on both sides of you basically like explode outward and try and pancake you. This is an attack 14 telekinetic slam.
I don't think I can help.
I say Braid stands ready to dive on this grenade. So, but you still need to make a defense of some sort.
Well, the funny thing about that is I can't.
Take that.
You can't defend
Damn
at all.
it.
We have so many of these.
Actually, wait, hold on.
I was trying to see if I had death wish in there, but it didn't work out for me. Because I could help absorb some of that.
Okay, I can do a 5 defense. That is
Okay.
the absolute best I can do.
All right, so it has that means 9. 9, that'd be 3 wounds. How many of those do you
my
want?
endurance is 3.
Right, so 9 divided by 3 is 3 wounds.
Okay.
So do you want to take all 3, or do you want Braid to dive in on some of this?
I want Braid to dive in.
All right.
Braid,
So
sorry.
you as the boulders and pieces of rubble and rebar are like heading towards you, you see like vines grow up from the ground. As you can see, Braid behind you is sort of like firing the roots of her body into the ground, and it's surrounding you in a protective roots. But even those cave in, and pieces of the rubble manage to like pierce into you. But Braid gives you sort of a wink.
God damn it, Braid, don't you understand this is not your fight?
Meanwhile, Braid, by the way, while Varya's being attacked, was like,
That's fair.
you guys see that football game? I don't know it exists. Braid still has 3 huge scars down, like all the way through her now oaken chest. That have never healed. But to be fair, that's Braid's business, because they could have healed in a crucible, but they didn't, because Braid can't let go. Yeah, isn't it
You do
weird?
you.
Trauma.
You're an expression of your own emotionality. This game is great. There are
Braid,
only
you do you.
there are only
alright?
2 games in which
That's the 3rd ship. It's Varya and Braid.
yeah. Oh, Bradia?
Braria.
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 I was going to go with Variade,
Variade. Oh,
Oh, no.
which is also a delicious sports
yeah,
drink.
delicious Variade.
Are you a phoenix at the end of your last life? Do you need a little bit of that imperial flame in
It's
you?
like
Drink
Beetlejuice.
Variade.
It's like Beetlejuice trying to pitch it, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Beetlejuice pitching an energy drink, though.
Come on. All right, so
You like a Zagnut? Got something tasty here for you.
Nice fucking model.
Lots of slow claps tonight.
there are 2 games I've seen that are this dedicated to character development. 3. 2 of them you can see on Saturdays currently on Saving Throw, which are Phoenix Dawn Command, which is very much about being in your own living expression of your emotionality, and Masks, which is literally the angsty teenager role-playing game.
It's the Degrassi High or Degrassi Junior High if you're old enough of superhero
Yeah.
role-playing games.
If you were to
It's
express
so
it,
fun.
it would be like angsty teenagers ... space with superpowers. Like, it is so little about the superpowers. It's so much
Except that
the
it's like MySpace, so you have to put ellipses
yeah.
to get all the spaces.
All I'm saying is, if you didn't watch Masks today, our session literally ended with my character screaming, "Motherfucker! Fucker! Fucker! Fucker!"
Yeah.
It was one of the best sessions.
It was beautiful.
Also, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer RPG
Oh, it's
is
gonna be so good.
much about
So
that.
good.
I hope we will see it here soon.
Maybe.
We're hoping.
But I
we're
can't
hoping.
talk about that.
Fingers
No.
crossed. Nope.
No.
Mac can't talk about it, except
Hey,
to say she can't talk about it.
Let's get back to the battle with the dread.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
so
true.
that was you taking some wounds, and then it is going to piercing whisper. You're exist now. No, you're still invisible.
No, I'm invisible until I
It's
do
going to
something
piercing
else.
whisper Atmos. So Atmos defense 10, please.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm super disappeared.
Sorry.
Super disappeared.
I'm like disappeared guy.
Come super disappeared.
Yeah.
Max all disappeared, like totally like waving her horn around.
You're all disappeared.
They're like, hey, Hector, fuck you. Actually, it'd probably be more of a like.
Yeah. The X,
Okay,
the Generation X.
Sure, why
Johnny Cross.
not?
So this, I'm going to
Varia's
use
not hip.
Vendetta, wondering where the fuck is Varia? And Vendetta gives me, it's the worth of the wounds that we have collectively as a wing.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's a 10 defense.
Oh yeah,
God damn,
you're-
son.
So you
Oh,
turn
wait,
like
please.
it's you
I
hear
never even thought about that.
yeah, and I would say like the
I didn't even
I'm
think
so
about
excited
that.
for next. I mean, never mind.
Fuck.
You're Vendetta brothers and sisters. But I think the piercing whisper, by the
you.
way, in this version of
I
it,
do
because
that.
it's not whispering at all, it's just like through a klaxon, like whoa, chant, 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 like right at you.
Fuck your mother.
Yeah.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberry.
Like, it's like
I
really
just start
aggressive.
spinning the hammer to such,
Yeah.
and like it turns to a blur.
Your mother wears coats in hell.
Yeah.
Almost he's a young priest and an old
Is
priest.
that the actual?
No, I forget what it is. What is
Radio
the
edit?
PG version of The Exorcist?
There isn't a PG version of The Exorcist.
Your
my
mother sells coats in hell.
Your
Sells
mother
goats
sells
now.
goats
My-
in hell,
my-
yeah.
Oh,
my
what a
favorite-
bad business plan.
Yeah.
Would you settle for, instead of an old priest and a young priest, perhaps a young pope?
Yeah.
You mean a sexy
He's not
pope?
even here to be like, oh, that.
Oh,
Oh.
there's a sexy pope and a young pope.
Oh,
Would
yeah.
that work?
He'll watch the VOD.
Brother Jamie and Brother Dreamy.
My favorite radio edit, if you will, of a movie is in Darkman, where
no.
he hands her the stuffed thing. He just wanted to just take the fuffin' elephant, and I'm like, they didn't even bother to make it a real word.
But that's why
Actually,
I like
wait.
the ones from the Cornetto trilogy because
Yes,
they
yeah,
purposefully
yeah.
do it messed up. So instead of Jesus,
Funking.
well, instead of Jesus Christ, they went peas and rice.
Well, but in Shaun of the Dead, they're like,
It's
funking,
funk.
funk.
A
Yeah.
Saxy Pope happened while you were
Yeah.
gone.
Well, there was a sexy pope and a young pope
Yeah.
because they need an old priest and a young priest, but we didn't have them available.
Yeah.
Am I sassy or old?
Yes.
Well, no, you're the young
Neither?
Oh,
pope
okay.
and
Both?
a sexy pope.
Yeah.
Yeah, saxophone.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Enjoy that.
Hashtag
So
saxophony.
is that's not a counterattack for you, yeah?
I didn't take any damage, so I
Okay.
can burn a spark. I might as well burn some of these sparks.
Yeah. Why not?
I
You only have a
can-
fight with the greatest evil you've ever known later.
Based on
but
the
I
very
can't-
fabric of reality, no big.
But I can't draw
No, but-
up, so
Ain't
it
you
treats the
chill.
defense as 0.
All right.
So I mean, I'll burn that spark,
Mhm.
and I'll burn another spark to flip my talon, which is really dramatic.
Yeah.
When on site, when I turn my hammer around, and I'm like, okay, now it's.
Now
Is
you're
it
gonna
like,
bring
is
the
it
hammer
like
down.
Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
style, with like a red gem and a blue gem,
I've,
and you're
I've
like,
just,
"What?"
I've just finished spinning the
Yeah.
hammer so it deflects their chant attack.
Yep.
Then I stop, grab the hammer, lift it over my head. I'm like, okay, I hate this song. And so that gives me, it's only going to be a total of 5, unfortunately, but they have no
5.
defense.
Burn a spark. They'll take
Oh,
one
that'll
of
be
its-
hard
yeah.
for you.
All right, so
So spark
you managed
machine.
you wound it back with the hammer, but it's still up. 2 more of you can act before it acts again. I think you probably have this.
So it'll be brutal damage, whoever hits it first.
Okay, me.
Okay.
I'm using Hunter, which is +5. I'm going to use Painful Truth. When you use this in an attack spread, reveal a secret about your enemy. If the GM decides this is true, this 6 stunned that thing. Actually, before I do that, I am running through the rubble, through the discarded belongings, and becoming hidden. So there's 5 right there. So there's 5, 10, potentially 16. And as I kind of sink Grimclaw into it, I'm like, you realize that this is your end. This is the ultimate end of the road for you. There is no coming back, correct?
You're right. Well, you're right as far as the Whisperer is concerned, so I'll give you the damage.
Okay.
Way far, like you do this damage, and then like you think a mile away in a window, you see the mask of the puppeteer going like, and but you
Wait,
still.
how was that again?
Or more like a.
Hey, man, I wanted to talk to you about this. Look, it's cool, but
Listen, on a scale of 1 to eventually comes back. But it's true now, and so yeah. So how much damage is that?
16.
16. This is 10. All right, so you do.
Oh wait, actually, shit, 20. Because
Oh.
I forgot Grimclaw. Shit.
Whap.
Don't forget Grimclaw.
All right, so
Never
Never
forget
forget Grimclaw.
You
Come on.
slam into it, and it's like. No. But it's at that time that you realize that this was happening like down various alleys for your entire force, and your force of 75, especially a number of phoenixes who aren't as gifted with fighting the chant as you are, has fallen down to around 60 as 15 phoenixes fell in the battle or were infected with the chant and didn't know how to deal with it and went wildly awry and were taken down by their fellows. You can remove those two chant.
In afflictions.
Yep.
Anybody who's paying attention, Ink is muttering something under his breath that sounds like a 2-syllable word.
Oh, I can hear it.
Care to share with the class?
What are you saying?
Omen.
Are we back to that again?
What do you mean?
All right.
What, you said you would be honest. What's on your mind, Ink?
It's not time. It's
Honesty
not
has
time,
no time limit.
Varia. If I tell you now,
What? What happens if you tell me now? You said you'd be honest, but this doesn't sound like honesty. So either you're going to be honest or you're not. Make up your mind.
I will tell you after the next battle, and you have my sullen
Oh,
word
you
on
mean
that.
hopefully the Hectarch, which you might be gone after,
Yes.
and then there won't be anything to tell. I see the game you're playing and I don't like it.
Do you see the whole board though? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. It's
Who are you again?
Rude.
How long have you
Soldier's
known
like,
me now?
Burn!
Wrecked.
Rickety wrecked. You've known me for how long now? Honestly.
Longer than I expected, but not as long as I'd hoped.
God damn it, it's the thing again. Are you doing the thing?
Maybe.
I like it better when it's the ghost of Wolf, okay?
So,
Don't forget Grimclaw.
yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
as you're walking off from there, like Braid walks up to you and says, like, "Sorry, I did the best I could. I tried to take all of that."
Braid, I must impress upon you, this is not your fight. You have your own wing that you owe allegiance to. I am grateful that you are here, but if you lose your last life in defeat of the Hectarch, then we are all lost. You must know.
Sorry, like on the bottom of your screen, the word irony.
No.
If you die, my wing may never exist again. Like, this is an important fight, and I know you're important to it. Don't worry, I have your back. There's no way I'll let existence be unmade. Do you have anything more to say to that?
Ironing? I do the firm embrace where, people do
Yeah.
that thing, and I bring her in for a hug, and I'm like, long may you run. Long may you run.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Soldier walks up to you and like sees the clear battle damage, and sees and is like, "What are you doing? Like, you can't go like this. I'm here to protect you. That was what you taught me."
Soldier, if there's one thing that you should have learned in your Crucible, it was shut up.
All I learned in my Crucible was what was taught by you. The remaining 2 Crucibles after that were nothing.
Why didn't we teach him shut up?
I learned by watching you.
Does drugs.
Soldier,
Does
you have
all
more.
the drugs, too, yeah.
all of
Soldier.
Yeah.
You have more lives to live. Awkward lives full of possibly drugs.
Yeah.
He's got one more. I'm almost out. The best lesson you can learn is survive.
That's exactly the point, Varya. We can't stand to lose you. You won't be coming back. You have a lot to teach people, like you taught me.
Yeah.
He gets it.
Wait. You guys.
It got weird.
But,
It got really weird.
I'm gonna go check in with Ink. This is good. This is
Who are
good.
you again?
Shield. Grass seed. All right, so you
Walk away slowly to the Hulk music.
all right.
Wait. I want to act like the Hulk. Hitchhiking away.
All right.
Anyway,
Yes, sorry.
meanwhile.
Not sorry.
All right. Some distance later, you're getting closer and closer to the center point by which the Hectarch is clearly in operation. Now things have sort of begun to defy physics. So there are.
Stop it.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah, you have. They're like building sections have sort of like come uncoupled from their foundations and they're floating up. There are like strange clouds and fogs at ground level. There's pits every few 100 yards that
Seriously, are we back in your
go on in the
crucible?
distance. That like
Feels like home.
buildings are melting. There's
Oh,
also
Dolly
like
landscape.
yeah, there's clocks folded over everything.
For what it's worth, Ink is singing to himself the Hawkwind song "Warriors on the Edge of Time."
There are also
Good
like
reference, trust me.
frozen people
Yeah.
in this sort of style of Pompeii, like just entirely covered in ash, heading in all directions. And ahead of you, there's the sort of glowing green, terrible energy sending up like a cloud into the sky and putting it out. Like every action movie ever for the past 5 years. I'm so sorry.
Like Eraser?
The sky vortex.
Yeah,
Portal.
good old 20-10 movie Sky Vortex. Sorry, it had to happen. It was the best choice for this.
Yeah.
It was the legitimate choice for this piece, and not just because that VFX was cheap. Because it's in imagination, and all VFX is cheap. And you can sort of feel the energy of the Hectarch as you get closer. All of these creatures, the Fallen, yourselves, the Chant, the Hectarch, they're all magic. Raw magic as bound together by rules and laws, by code, for lack of a less modern term, that dictates what they are. So the code for Phoenixes is find a mortal, replicate 7 times, stronger every time. And it has specific goals and means that it's driven towards. The code for all these things is set. If you were to imagine this as code, so if we are to sort of dive into the Tron world briefly, if you were to imagine this as code, the code for the Hectarch is like pushing out from itself. And it's like raw. The rules of the Hectarch itself are pushing into reality at greater and greater distance around itself.
This is like Windows. This is full of bloatware.
Yeah, it's
It's like consuming everything around it.
yeah, it's rewriting code around it in the same way that it took something like the Chant, which was itself probably harmful code, but rewrote it as a modern, more dangerous version. And it's taken a number of Fallen and sort of reskinned them or redesigned them as something far more dangerous. And the bones that have been plaguing everyone were basically like small code made large. And if it's so much so that if this were Tron, you can imagine like it's rewriting the buildings is like from green code to orange code or something. It's like physically you're like pushing through the soup of it as you get closer, and you can almost hear the whisper in the corner of like the back of your head of like turn against humanity,
Omen.
destroy all things, and it drives you forward.
Ink.
Omen.
Ink.
What?
Stop.
I think he's saying, "Oh man."
I don't think so.
I was saying Boo Earns. Sorry.
Hans Moleman makes a guest appearance.
Ink. You promised you'd be honest with me. You've already broken that once. What is going on?
I think it's twice actually. Sorry. No, you're right. You're right at the right time.
Atmos, I have a favor to ask of you, my friend. Would you take these assembled phoenixes together with you and Eerie and give them a rousing speech about how we're going to defeat our enemies? I need to talk to Varia alone for a moment.
All right. Phoenixes with me.
They follow you easily.
They're like, who is this?
Some of them still think they're famous because they died and went to their crucible before
Oh.
they happened.
Oh my god, y'all, it's totally Atmos. Oh my god. Oh shit.
Oh my god, oh my
Wait,
god.
hold on. Atmos, hold on. Oh yeah.
I wish you'd really taken a selfie there.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
We'll catch you later for you guys.
That's all right.
So you're left alone. The swirling winds of like the dark energy coming off the Hectarch are sort of are present here, but it's basically otherwise silent.
What's going on? Because believe it or not, I care what happens to you.
And I care what happens to you a great deal. In the time that we've journeyed together, you've become incredibly dear to me in a way that in the mortal world I would not have appreciated. It doesn't matter now. We're beyond mortal constraints. Just believe me. Varia, for lack of a better word, I love you in my way. We're wingmates. We would die for each other. We'd live together. There's something that I feel for you beyond what I feel for the others. What we're about to go into will likely defeat all of us. And there's a favor I need to ask of you.
What?
That's 5 plus 5. There's 19. Here's psychometry. And I'm using Web of Secrets. And he reaches out. And we touch hands.
Or really weird claw paw things.
In the battle that we are about to fight, you will not know who I am. And you're never going to know who I am ever again.
Did you just erase yourself?
I did.
Holy shit.
From her. I just used Web of Secrets. So yeah, I made a deception check, and I'm
What?
eliminating myself from her memory.
You can go ahead and if you want to, you can push back to try and like counter the attack, but that's a lot of numbers.
Shit.
Hashtag Vari.
Question mark.
Vari. Yeah, no, I've always shipped her with herself, as far as I can remember. Actually, kind of a little.
What did you use?
Web of Secrets. You may make a deception check to conceal an event, object, or individual, altering memories and eliminating facts.
It's the same thing that removed Atmos from existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I'm just erasing myself from you.
Yeah.
I mean, all I'm going to be able to do maybe is retain a glimmer, but that's going to be about it.
That might be okay.
It's not the worst thing. I was thinking actually because it's in that realm of
Yeah.
forgetfulness and maybe shadows actually play into that. So that would give me a 5.
I'd apply your shadows to that.
Okay.
I mean, you're a marshal too. You know what you're doing.
I'm not sure I can support this.
You're not,
course of
you're not
action.
hearing this
I know.
because you're talking.
I'm going to get as many cards
That's
as
why
I
I
can in
redirected
hand
you,
here.
my friend.
I should also point out that the magic of this, like all great magic, sort of like rectifies itself for everyone. So when she doesn't recognize him, and the three of you are around,
It's just
it doesn't
fine.
it makes sense
Yeah,
to you in
it
some
doesn't
way.
register.
Yeah, it's self-supporting, like
Okay.
Thor's hammer.
I'm going to use that.
Mhm.
I'm going to use Power from Pain because that's super shippable right
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Do it.
Perfect.
So I think that's as many cards as I can play right now. So that would give me 5, 10, 13, 16, 20.
What was your total?
So there was 5. There was 15.
I can't add those because it's not an attack thing. I think you had 19?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 19 or 20. Chat, can you check
I'm pretty
us
sure
on
you
that?
had
You said
19.
Okay, 19.
I care enough to remember one more point than you
All right.
do.
Obviously.
What I'll do is I'll say that the magic works for the purpose of this combat. Like he manages to sort of glamour you at that much, but coming out of this fight, like the memories of him will flood back. But for a hot second, you have no idea who it is that has like your paw claw things in their hand.
So
But-
let's
but
get
yeah.
back real quick.
The big pawpaw and the big
Oh.
pawpaw.
Varia, I hear you
What?
are.
What?
I hear you are one of the best. I'm honored to serve next to you.
Did we bring you from one of the crucibles? One of the others must have done that.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm a modest shrouded. My name is Spectre.
We don't have time for this. Let's go.
Indeed, Marshall.
The producers are dead. Wow.
1 sec. Sorry.
Um,
After all the fields, I have to pee.
filthy.
That is how
All
he
right.
works. Everyone knows that's
Yeah,
science.
No, that's a really good time.
All right.
I really
All right, you guys go out of the room alone. There's no way people will read into that.
That's fine.
Please subscribe.
Subscribe now for more of.
Do you guys hear
whatever.
growling and like weird like cloak shifting?
Someone's getting pushed up against the wall. All right, so meanwhile, in the grander scope of this attack on the Hectarch, you can like some of the other phoenixes sort of like shelter by you, like the necrotic or the negative energy is like blasting through the alleyways here, and they what?
Somebody quoted Michael, after all the fields, I have to pee.
And one of the phoenixes, like a rank 5, he's a shrouded, also comes up to the two of you and says, I don't really understand what the end game is here. If this is some sort of tangible evil, is there defeating it? Can we fight it?
Well, we have no choice but to fight it. Can we defeat it? That's a different question, and I think it's been asked by people before us, by phoenixes before us.
Well, as it's physical to us now, is the end game its destruction, or is the end game some neutral position? How do we defeat evil? I feel evil in myself. I see the evil in the world around me. I see one animal eat another. I don't necessarily feel like this can be destroyed.
It's a construct that intensifies evil. Destroying it will lessen evil. Evil will never die. But if we do nothing, this will destroy us all.
We can't leave it unchecked.
All right.
This is why we're here. Our flames burn to burn back the darkness and keep the daylight as much as it can be.
I know we all follow you unquestioned, and I stand with you, but this is something on a scale that none of us have dealt with before. We'll follow your lead, but don't look to us for any inspiration here. I don't think we understand what we're truly facing. The rest of the Shrouded and I have been talking, and this is actually knowledge we don't have. It seems unknowable. What does one do against such truly great evil?
The best you can, Phoenix. That's all we're doing.
Look at that one over there.
Soldier.
Ew.
You punch him, and he comes back. You punch him, and he comes back, and you punch him, and he comes back. All we can do is come back.
Don't adhere them to your skin. It's really bad.
Max bad at mics. All right. Hashtag Max Mike. All right.
Hashtag Max Pack, like a Mike pack.
Ooh.
Also, Wolfpack.
Hashtag Mike's
That
Pack.
too.
Mike. Oh. No,
Wait, stop.
that's a different ship. That's
Stop
a different ship.
talking.
Max
Uh-oh.
Look, he already
Max
did
Mike?
the best thing ever. It can only
Hashtag
go
Max
downhill
Mike.
from here.
Yeah.
He already told the producers.
This is-
What's
This
the
is
point
why
you're
I
going
drink
at? Pete.
so much.
Joshua, there's a Miller Lite in there. Would you grab that for me?
Ew, don't
is.
debase yourself.
No, I brought them.
It's the champagne of beers. Don't
It,
debate.
No,
it
that's-
really isn't.
That's the high life. You're
That's the
right.
highlight.
There's
The
some
first-
bourbon on top.
Yeah,
Like, come on,
the
man.
first sketch I ever wrote when I moved to LA was
I
Miller
appreciate
Low
it.
Life,
Thank
the
you.
beer of champagne.
Thank you.
Hey, you want to be classy, but you don't know what that is? Check out Miller Low Life.
It's
It's
a
the
beer
beer
of
of champagne. No one's gonna push on your boundaries at all. You can have a celebratory event with what is essentially what you're used to: Miller Low Life, the beer of champagne.
it.
Is that pouring Miller like through, or it's pouring champagne through like charcoal?
Somebody in chat right now put Steve Winwood's High Life in the thread, please, for
I
me.
did try
right
charcoal
now.
beer once because it was a thing I had to know. I was at a beer festival and it was, you know, complete. Don't do it.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's smoky, but
Right.
not the way I want it.
All
Let's
right.
continue on so
Yes.
I can make it to the next
It was-
major
Sorry,
milestone
sorry,
before
sorry.
I have to go to the bathroom and make this the worst view and shit. Like, that said, anyway, yeah, we're gonna go home. We're going on.
Look, none
No,
of us
I'm
want
just-
this to end, so that's
Yeah,
why we're
we're
dragging
all-
it
we're all
out.
trying-
And then
as
no
many-
one tuned in for season 2.
Yeah, take as many bathroom breaks as we can.
Drag it out.
Finish your
Pete.
cartoon
The
bourbon.
smallest bladdered game available
Season 2 is
online.
going to be rad.
Take your saw palmetto because we're going to go back for season 2.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. All right. So, having had that moment,
Mistake.
the three of you sort of, or the four of you sort of come together at the vanguard of your assembled phoenixes and begin to move sort of in the planning. Neither of you really notice that Varia seems to be questioning why some random phoenix has been added to your trio and is sort of participating in the planning phase.
Well, didn't you say when she's
Yeah.
in proximity to them, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
wait, who's
no,
this guy?
They know who you are.
Okay.
We
But they don't
understand,
notice
yeah.
that she doesn't know who you
Okay.
are. So it always rectifies in their brain some way.
Varia is painfully distracted right now. It's best to just let her do what she needs to do. Are we understood, my friends?
Seems fair.
Yeah. And again, as far as Varia is like, dude, this Phoenix from a Crucible presumes a lot to be here at the command tent.
He's kind of a dick.
Spectre, what the
yeah.
fuck?
But the two of you are like, okay, they're having a fight. Like it always makes sense on some level.
It's not even calling him the right name. It's kind of a dick move.
Are you surprised with
No,
everything
no.
we've seen?
Yeah, not even a little bit.
So what Ron Swanson does as a power move is just call people by other names, even if he knows the right one.
It's like, all right, Deborah, go back to planning.
So
I gotta call him Deborah now.
the Hectarch lays out in front of you, sort of central to your position. What do you want to do?
So how close are we to the Hectare?
I mean, as far as you know, it's not really clear whether
How
what.
close are we to the crazy fucking
First of all,
sky vortex?
I'm burning 2 sparks for the very first time in the entire time I've had this card in my hand to put smartest person in the room back in my hand.
Nice play.
Um,
How close are we to the sky vortex?
you're like a couple hundred yards, but that doesn't seem to after defeating what was it turned out a very large attack from the raw chant. There hasn't been anything really between the two of you. But that said, there's essentially a ridge you must go over to reach this part, where you sort of cross the threshold to the center point of where the Hectarch is emanating from.
So as we four kind of come to the edge of the ridge, if you'll allow me, I would like to go ahead and, as unlikely as it seems, attempt to use a little bit of diplomacy before we proceed with violence.
What is your deal?
I've learned a few things in my crucibles that you might not understand simply because you've not been there. It is certainly not any disrespect to who you are.
We need to swarm this thing with as much power as we have.
Please tell her to stop. She won't listen to me.
Varia, stand down.
You
You're
know,
not going alone.
you realize you're new to our wing, right? And that most people don't remember who you are.
Eerie.
I vaguely remember.
Eerie, please.
It's not like we have the element of surprise.
So that's
So
17.
why bother
do
being
what?
sneaky about
To
it?
tell Varya to calm down
Okay.
Oh no, you
and
didn't.
instruct Ink that I'm going to be
You just
joining him.
told me to calm down. Is it because I'm a woman and I'm an emotional person?
Oh no.
No.
Because it's
clearly
not
isn't.
okay.
That's not how we are in
No.
Skating.
You literally can't play that card in this game.
I used to-
17?
I used to be.
Yeah.
God.
Do you want to resist that? I'll take a gray spread against it, but not a strength spread.
Gray spread. What has he got?
17.
And what are you trying to do?
So I'm instructing you to stand down because from my experiences in the dusk, I think that Ink has a chance of actually talking to the Hectarch, but I will be accompanying him because reasons.
Because reasons.
You, by the way, here, this Shrouded has great ideas. You don't understand who Ink is,
Yeah.
so it rectifies for you magically.
I can't beat a 15 right now.
Steven,
I'm
that's
great.
a
Alright.
good picture, by the way.
So you have to let it happen. So
And so, will you let me come with you? That's 17, I think, all told, right? 9, 12, yeah, 17.
Of course.
Don't let him ruin our chances here.
Why do you think I'm going with him?
I'm not sure.
And while they're talking, I turn to you. Remember, run as far and as fast as you can. Please, just remember that.
What's with him?
I'm the only one that shouldn't be running.
you head in over the ridge. Now, I was assuming you were going to hide initially, but now that you have him with you, do you want to hide still and like try and approach? Okay, so you head in over the ridge and you reach what is a sort of the central point, and in the sort of middle of this like great vortex of magical energy that blasts off into the atmosphere ahead of you, there is this like a simple like older human shape sort of like standing there and then looking forward. And you already, both of you are knowledgeable enough about magic to get the impression that this sort of is a manifestation of something that can interact with you, but is not an actual expression of what the Hectarch is.
Sure. Hectarch! We know who you are and what you are. And we would speak to you face to face with respect. And we beg your forgiveness for intruding upon your home. Home.
Have your audiences, Phoenix. Or sorry, have your audience, Phoenixes. Now do I commit to the Hectarch having plural and singular issues? Yes.
You gotta
Yeah,
sign on to it now.
Yeah,
So
have your audiences, Phoenix. My purpose is clear. Your word will not have any effect on my plans.
we
And sort of
understand.
turns to you. Both of you, unbeknownst to each other, are seeing a different, older face drawn from some sort of evil authoritarian history of your own persona. But it sort of, moves slightly towards you.
Just saying.
Jealousy and Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah.
Oh God, no, never mind. I'm not gonna go there. It's fine. Nope.
Speak, Phoenixes.
CG Tarkin.
Your magical constructs are truly the most interesting to me. I'm interested in hearing the words it might create.
Grand Hectarch, long have you existed in this reality, and long have you suffered because of it. You were created for a purpose far beyond your understanding, and long have you served it faithfully. And I would entreat you to consider for a moment that you need no longer pursue these same grim interests. Would you hear me when I say these words?
You are flawed, Phoenix. You are all flawed. In your creation, the lack of spine and specificity is clear. I know my purpose. I know what I am to do. Yours was left to individual will and interpretation. The end of all things living is my goal. It is not negotiable or otherwise tangible. My purpose cannot be overridden, nor can it be altered. It is your own flaws that allow you some piddling interpretation of what your job is. I still remember the original Phoenix message and the original Phoenix purpose. It was far more singular and significantly less mutable than you think it is. I suggest you leave this place now and return to your daylight world while I allow it to exist. Otherwise, this will be the end of your story.
Atmos.
Hector, I entreat you. What was the purpose of the Phoenixes when they were first created?
Look at you now. Multicultural, driven from all the peoples of the world. But when you were created and when I was created, you were simply a weapon of one people against the others in a great war. I too was such a weapon, but much more of a weapon of less resort. Initially, your great beneficial goodness was only for those like you. Sadly, that purpose has been specifically lost, and now you fight for what? Some intangible grouping of all living things? How sad. You were essentially one army against another for some sort of twisted cultural or racial purity, a culture or race now lost to your modern times. I was much more broad in purpose. All life to end, all things quiet, all things silent. The Hectarch was the end of things. That you have broadened your horizons long after your culture is dead does not mean you were not some simple, small-minded attempt to take over the world. Take over the world? Why not end it? I choose to end it at my pace.
Enough!
Jeez, I gotta get the acoustics in here.
You think you shame us fighting for death? We fight for life. That's why we fight you. That's why we're here now.
You fight for life now because your purpose has been corrupted. You fought for one life before, for the life of your culture. I'm sure if I were to drag out to you all the persons who did not represent that culture, you would not let them simply burn, but that was your design. I'm the only one left fighting for what I was designed for. Without the middlings of these mortals changing my design and purpose, I have stayed silent here for thousands of years, designing my conquest of the living world, and I'm not going to let two who are corrupted programs let out by twisted mortal judgment change my ideals.
Hectarch, you speak too freely and you have spoken enough. Please go summon the rest of the Phoenixes. I fight for the users.
Reference means nothing to him.
Hectarch, you have served your purpose faithfully, and for that we are in debt to your service. However, you are an outmoded concept. You have no relevance in this world. There is no need for peoples to war against each other when it is only through unity that we shall succeed. And it is because of me and my brethren and sistren that we shall eliminate you from the face of existence.
I offer you unity, Phoenixes. I offer you unity in death. Perhaps your purpose would be fulfilled if there was no wars left to fight, for
Also,
all
sorry,
of you
headphones.
were non-existent.
I've heard enough. You use this program, and I flip out my duster because it looks cool, and stalk over the top of the crater.
As he's walking away, I run up to the Hectarch. I understand exactly what you speak. I understand the futility of the existence for the Phoenixes and for every living being on this world. If it takes a hard reset, then so be it, and I will be the one that will facilitate it. And if you will not assist me in it, I will destroy you in my end.
as you're walking off, like you hear some sort of loud yelling between the two of them, but you hear this much more like quietly and purposely in your head. Your purpose is even darker than mine, Phoenix Inc. Unmaking reality is farther than even I will go. Perhaps it is the thing of gods alone to make such choices. I will end all life here, and you and your strange machinations will die with it. I'm afraid I can't help you on your quest, because your quest is true lunacy. Yours and Omen's before you. It is only by my goodwill I have allowed him to walk from this place as it is. You and your twisted cadre will fail, because all life will fail. And if you fight amongst each other, it will only make me stronger.
Oh man.
I heard that.
What
Yeah,
was
you
that?
didn't hear that.
At
That's
this
why I was
point,
like, what the
I've
fuck?
taken off to a run to catch up with Varya and Eerie
Yeah.
to rally the rest of the Phoenixes because nothing that's happening is okay.
You quickly see.
Can I assume diplomacy didn't work?
Well, you can see the
You'd
flaming
be
head
100%
of
correct.
him moving
We have
towards
bigger
you.
things to worry
Well,
about.
I
One
can
of
yell,
them
I can
might
hear
be-
him.
Well, yeah.
One of them might be our friend. Well, our friend.
Phoenixes, we march now.
Okay. First off, as you approach, the Hectarch, like realizing that combat is happening, summons a number of these Dread Knights. You can show people that, which are gigantic, terrible, monstrous creatures, pulling them out from like the very realm itself, and then the Hectarch sort of codifies into this, which we fought only once before, but in its own terrible, twisted version, which is sort of made up entirely of dark and terrible supernatural energies.
Yes, just like that.
That has like 6 more mouths than you're supposed to mouth.
Yeah, too many mouths. And
Too
as
many
we
mouths,
mentioned
too
before-
many mouths.
Too many mouths.
You're on fire!
I'm going to 10-1 before we start this fight because I don't want to have to stop in the middle of it. I'll be right back.
It's probably for the best.
Too many mouths, not enough time.
Ew.
Ew.
No, thank you.
Oh, yes.
Nope, nope,
I'm gonna
nope.
sidle right out of that room.
Tentacles. This game's killing me.
That's very Richmond, which ties back to very earlier when we were talking about IT crowd. This one,
have you
it
plugged
blinks,
anything,
and then it
Michael?
blinks.
I've
and
not
then it
plugged
doesn't.
anything. I pitched it on Max. I'm
Blah, 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 blah.
gonna take that again in 5.
4. Do it!
I pitched this on Masks earlier, but Z, the beginning of it all, which is the Amazon Prime series about Zelda Fitzgerald starring Christina Ricci.
I was wondering if that was
It's
any
really
good.
good.
Is it?
It's really good. I mean,
Netflix has been killing it lately.
I know. I mean, it's a great story. She is a really strong female character, and also costume porn. Yeah, double plus good.
I need to watch that because, I mean, Santa Clarita Diet has been really good.
See, I
and
haven't seen,
and
yeah.
Lemony Snicket was also really good.
Yes. Oh my god, I loved Lemmy
Plus-
Snicket so much. I never saw the movie. I haven't read the books.
Honestly,
I have
we
to...
went back and we-
The
Yeah.
show is great.
We went back.
Yeah.
We went back and watched the movie after we finished binging, actually. We went ahead and rented it off Amazon. I can see where they were heading with it. They tried to fit in too much.
Sure.
The breathing room that was necessary for the story building was in the series.
Sure,
The
and
movie
Patrick
tried
War-
to build it in
Just
too
everybody
quick.
in that fucking cast
Honey's
is
an
so
angel.
good.
Honey's
Yeah.
an angel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
although
that's it.
I have to admit, watching
Yeah.
him in that,
You mean Peter Serafinowicz?
Fenowitz, Sarah Fenowitz.
Serafinowicz, yeah.
We actually
That was a great pilot.
we watched the
Fuck, I'm
pilot,
sad that didn't
but
happen.
it's not the Patrick Warburton pick, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Also, if I can share a personal story of mine, if I may.
Ew.
Thank you, Mac. You're so on brand. I love it. I worked at
This
Warner.
is all I have.
I worked at
It's
Warner
all I
Brothers for a
have.
number of years, and one of the things that we worked on in my department was a number of the series of the Supernatural DVDs. And Ben Edlund, who was the creator of The Tick, was
New England Comics.
yes,
Shout out to my home.
NEC, yeah, right, yeah. He was one of the writers on that, and I feel like he's actually a showrunner now, or he was at some point, but it doesn't matter.
He worked on the new one too.
We
He's
were
on a lot of stuff.
we were going up in an elevator to an interview, and I was like, dude, I just want you to know that I fucking love The Tick. And he's like, thank you, man. Thank you so much. And that got to me in so many ways.
See, here, what I was
Sometimes I look
thinking
at
was
the
about
moon.
NPH and the fact I was listening to songs from Hedwig earlier, and I wish I could have seen him on Broadway doing Hedwig in The Angry Inch.
Also,
I did see the Pantages version, which was pretty fucking good, though.
Darren Criss.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, Neil Patrick Harris is from my hometown. He went to the Rich Kids High School, and that's okay. La Cueva. Look it up.
So
Don't look it
Maddie
up.
Carteropole, who's a comedian and an acquaintance of mine, is like the long-haired troopsman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, that's so great.
He put a Facebook picture up with him and our good friend Count Olaf dressed as a maid, and I was like, season 2's gonna be great.
I think my favorite, though, and without spoiling anything, is NPH with victory rolls. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
Not good victory rolls, mind you, but victory rolls. That was what the movie wanted to be, but the movie tried to compact 3 of the stories into about a little less than 2 hours, whereas the show took 4 stories and each story got 2 hours of its own.
Do we get a lot of Will Arnett and Kobe? That's all.
Not a
It's-
ton,
it's there.
but it's worth it. It's worth
It's
it.
worth it, but also, God damn it, show. And those who have watched it understand what I'm saying. Because I watched it and I'm like, I literally started screaming at the TV.
Also, while we're on the subject, because oh god, who's the director?
Yes, that.
Barry.
Help me out, pal. What are you talking about? Which
Barry
thing?
Allen.
Sonnenfeld?
No, yeah, Barry Sonnenfeld, right?
Are you
Who
talking about
directed
the-
Adam's Family,
Family,
Adam's Family
yeah.
2, Pushing Daisies, Pushing
Yes,
fucking Daisies.
That's what
Yes,
touched him. That show's like Pushing Daisies
Yes.
+5.
yes.
I forget stuff about that show, but I haven't actually
Well,
watched
Brian
it.
Fuller was the showrunner on
Wonder
it, but
Falls as well.
Yeah, but
All
Barry
those
Sonnenfeld
weird-
directed it, and it's great because it's basically about a psychopomp who falls in love with his childhood sweetheart and kills her in the process,
Well, as one
but
does.
brings her back to life, and he cannot touch her for the rest of their existence. And he is so deeply in love with her, and
tie,
it's
yeah.
just, it's great.
Barry
yeah.
Sonnenfeld is just
Yeah.
awesome in
Anyway.
general.
Sex.
No problem. All
Sorry,
right,
we're talking
so
about
in
awesome
this
things.
combat are floating stones, swirling darkness, distorted gravity, many of your own dead phoenixes,
with
which
green.
will happen eventually.
Oh.
And there's a series of like piles of weapons twisting in and amongst each other.
And
like
fallen phoenixes, you mean phoenixes that have died, not like the fallen.
no,
Okay.
there are phoenixes who have died in this combat alone.
Just
and whose bodies
checking.
have not, yeah.
It can mean
And
many
then,
things in this game.
tangible gloom.
Oh.
Pretty happy with that one.
Gloom you can touch. It's like
so-
Yak.
Yep.
I would like that gesture one more time, please.
Which thing? This?
Yeah. There we go.
That feeling when you re-roll and it's like, nope, it's still a low number.
I've got those
Okay,
hands. You must be
so-
double jointed. And you
And
must
Hungarian.
be Hungarian.
So you remember from the first time you fought Dread Knights that they're usually tied to some physical manifestation, including possibly their creator.
They're
So
dicks.
you probably can't take these Dread Knights down entirely until you've destroyed the Hectarch. But that may not be possible even in itself. That said, killing them does like clear the way for other phoenixes, so it's up to you whether you want to fight them or not. Otherwise, the larger force here is the Hectarch itself, which is like sort of become a giant sort of manifestation of like terrifying, evil, raw energy that in a sort of gross physical way is like manifesting in like tentacles and tendrils and is several stories high.
All right.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm flipping a wound to activate Grimclaw,
Okay.
and I'm going for the Hectarch.
All right.
I'm going to flow through the swirling darkness to become hidden, but
for it.
en route there. Just give me your hands.
Why all this hand touching?
He's doing it with everyone. It's really creepy. I don't feel
Not
special.
you, though.
I don't feel special anymore.
Listen, my friend. You have been forgotten for as many heroic deeds as so many lesser phoenixes will forget in their entire lifetimes, and I want you to know that you are very important in the existence of the Phoenix Order as it stands. But I want you to know as well that with what we experienced in the darkness, you have to carry the message of the Phoenix's true nature. Do you understand me? Do you understand me?
We're one more thing from the darkness, and we serve a purpose, but let's say that there are things on my mind
I
that
hope-
I'll work with.
I hope I'm wrong. Please prove me wrong. But I am acting on what I know to believe is right. And as I know love is a phoenix, I love you. Now go!
But he's just passing that around to everyone.
Nope, not Eerie.
Such a fucking whore, Ink.
God dang.
Just
Yeah, but I loved you
manipulating
so much I
right.
made you forget me.
Yeah, that's true.
Or tried to make you
You don't want to
forget
hold hands, right? Okay.
Okay,
thank you.
What do you
so
do?
here's the
You're a
thing.
Jerk.
Swirling Darkness gives me +5.
Eat your feelings.
I'm gonna eat my feelings now.
No. No.
I'm
Snickers
adding
are the best
Astonishing
tasting
Luck,
feelings.
which is 9. I'm hidden, so I can add 3 cards. So there's 14, 17, 21, and this is all in the Hectarch proper. And then I'm going to use Consuming Force. When you use this card in a spread, draw 1 card. When you use it in an attack spread, you may burn any number of sparks up to your rank and add 3 for each attack spark.
Holy
There's 3, there's 6, there's 7.
Man, I get some shit with my thing, but damn, dude.
Yeah.
Between you and Eerie, I'm just like,
So I'm putting that away. And then I'm also going
I'm
to call
consistent, but you
on
guys are
Heart
well.
of the Wing. So if y'all want to put it in a spark, that's 9 sparks right there, which
do you mean for the person that I can't
yeah.
remember?
I'm actually not going to allow that.
So I'm not putting in any
So
fucking sparks.
you don't have any recollection of who this is and why they're the Heart of the Wing. So
enough.
who else is going to jump in?
So
Deserve it.
Josh put 1. Okay. So
Oh yeah, that's why I held it up and then put it back in my stack, because fuck you.
So I believe that puts me at about 45.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Christ.
All right.
There's a huge blast. Well, how does this manifest? I should probably ask you.
I feel like because the Hectarch and I are face to face, I kind of insert Grimclaw into its person, and then I bring it closer to me, and then we kind of merge into one.
Ew.
Yeah. Not in a sexy way, but in a gross way, in a body horror way.
In a sexy way?
In a swole way.
Ew.
This is the new
This is
ship,
gonna be a lot
Ink
better when I
Tark.
don't hate
Yeah.
you.
Please,
all right.
See.
please don't.
Also, actually, wait, hold on. If I put in my everywhere and nowhere, what would that do?
You're basically doing it to all the Dread Knights simultaneously.
That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. So
You're just spreading it around today,
Yeah.
aren't you?
there's a
He's such a fucking whore.
So Ink draws on a huge reservoir of potent energy and makes a giant blast against the Shoggoth, or well, against the Hectarch, diving into its form and essentially like nuking out. You can see all the Dread Knights sort of like explode into shards and fall down. And there's a great amount of damage done to the Hectarch, but it's certainly not over. And the Hectarch sort of rears back up and is fine. And you can start, and the Dread Knight starts spinning back into existence. Hectarch is far too strong for such an attack to truly destroy it. One more if you can act before it truly
And
it
you're
goes
not
ahead.
out yet, right?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Who's next? Who wants to take the torch / Imperial soldiers?
Well, I mean, I could do it. I don't have the
You can
greatest
feel like there's a
handwriting.
tangible damage was
Yeah.
done, though, to the Hectarch by this, but not enough to take it down. Certainly more than any Phoenix deserves to do in any small amount of time, though.
I mean,
So
does
it was
anybody
truly-
want in on this? Or otherwise,
I
I'll
almost wanna
do
refresh my
something.
hand, but if you can do actual damage.
I can do damage, it's not great. Can I go ahead and have the twisting weapons rack, please?
Okay, it's twisting weapons, but we're going to call it a weapons rack for the purposes of...
Whatever.
Our
I
own-
can grab
it's like a
any
distortion
weapons
of
that I
reality.
fucking want at this point. I'm also
rack
going to
full
go
of
ahead
puppets.
and take a wound to
It's a
Split
reality
Grimclaw.
rack. It's like holding them all in the same space,
All right,
adjacent to
let's-
each other in a way that a rack does.
Yeah.
Let's see what I get
It's
here.
Schrodinger's rack.
Okay, I'm going to use superhuman
It's a weird-
reflexes.
I'd
I'm going to
watch
burn a
that show.
spark so I can draw another card as well.
So it's 2 cards.
I already picked one up, so. I'm going to use Feed on Fear, which makes them exposed. I learned something that they're afraid of. I pick one other member of our wing to tell me something they're afraid of, which I guess is Atmos right now, because I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
I'm Spectre. That's all you need to
You're the
know.
worst person in the world. That's what you are, motherfucker. And then that, and I'm just gonna use this for. Well, no, I can use Vendetta, which is gonna let me add in all of them wounds. You got to tell me what you're afraid of. The Hectarch tells me what it's afraid of, and I'm gonna math.
The Hectarch's afraid of ink, but you don't know what that means.
And Atlas has to tell me what he's afraid of.
I'm afraid I've lost track of what we mean, what the Phoenixes mean.
That's upsetting.
Well, I don't understand why. That's totally fine. That's like a thing people just say.
Everybody says that.
So let's see, that gives me 5, and then too many things. 9, 15, 17, another 20, and then 6. So 28?
All right.
Jeebus.
You're
Although
terrifying.
I'm gonna throw in a couple of sparks too. Let's
Real
make that
quick.
30.
Eldragon is leaving a note that it's 10 plus wounds and whatever the card's at.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that should have been 28.
Your
So many freaking
Pyrean steel claws on your already like 9-foot werewolf form tear a great hole in the physicality of the Hectarch. And you can see that it does damage to it, but it doesn't in itself seem like it's taking it down. There's something far greater at play here than even your physical mastery can handle. But definitely nothing in existence that has a mortal shape could have survived a blow like that. Then it sort of like turns its focus at you, and just basically blasts out. It's not a radius. It's like a separate like tube of energy hits all of you, but also all the other Phoenixes. But everyone in the scene has a defense 10 against the Hectarch.
I can do 5.
Then you're gonna take.
Wait, hold on. I can grant 3 to that.
5, 6, 7, 8. So
Thanks, Random Phoenix.
So you'll take you'll take a wound, or a soldier will take the wound.
Right now, I'm gonna take it because I'm still in a
Alright.
place where this is helpful to me.
And what's the defense? Sorry.
It's a defense 10 against the.
I can do 5 with an endurance 3.
All right, so that's a wound to you as
Nope.
well.
I'm gonna take that
So that's a wound to
because I
Varyan.
just feel somewhere deep in my gut that I need to jump in front of that.
All right.
You're welcome,
That gets
Rando.
nice. That gets nice and sticky. All right.
Sparked up.
I don't know. I
Wait,
just felt like I
10.
needed to jump in front of that.
How are you?
It was
So
instinctual.
I end up with a defense of 5,
Okay.
and then
I
I'm
see
gonna
what you
I'm
did
gonna
there.
burn 7. I'm gonna
I
burn
hate
7
you.
sparks and deal 14 damage.
I just can't.
Okay. All right. So you take 2
This is
wounds
good
from that.
shit, right?
So you're gonna get what,
This was
4
some good
back,
shit, right?
Yeah, I get 4 back.
and everyone else gets 1
Are you
back.
gonna go home and
Yep,
cry?
everyone else.
Because I am.
Mac,
I'm fighting off crying right now. I'm gonna.
take that one. All right. So
Oh, thank
you take 2 wounds from that, and then it takes some wounds back. But that's not all. The Dread Knights fall on all of, like, not literally, but like fall and attacking to all of you. So all of you have to make a
I'm disappeared.
defense 9.
I'm disappeared.
Okay, they miss you then. So the 3 of you have to make a defense 9.
And we can't add sparks to defense, right?
No, you can't.
Okay, I can do 5 plus endurance 3.
Okay, so that is 1 more wound to you.
Okay.
I could do 5.
Or Braid can take that for you.
No.
So that's 2 more wounds to
I'm
you.
not interested in selling Braid up the river right now. I gotta be honest. But I
Okay.
will say that currently I've only got 1 card in my hand.
All right, so
Psychometry?
It's not.
what do you got?
I know.
I've
I know.
got a reroll.
We have so many rerolls for like once. It's beautiful. Thank you guys.
I feel guilty taking them somehow.
I should also point out to those of you who are interested that most of your positive combat abilities went in the first combat with the chance.
That is very true.
If you need to,
Oh,
like
yeah.
like Mac is defending very lightly because she does not have Shadow Wolf right now. What do you got?
That's very true. So true.
I have 6 defense.
Okay.
What's your endurance?
2.
If ever we needed
that's,
the redraws,
that's
so.
1 more damage to you.
Please take
So
as many
one
as you need, my
more
friend.
wound. And then
Now I'm doing brutal damage.
yeah, I'm gonna burn 2 sparks to make an attack against the
Okay.
Dread Knights.
Mm-hmm.
And also burn another spark to flip Talon back to attack, which still gives me, that's gonna be 6, and discard that to get a spark back. And then everybody else gets a spark back if they're under the top.
We'll see.
All right. So how much damage did you do on your attack back?
So that was 6
6?
total.
All right. So you damage one of the Dread Knight who hit you, but it's still up. All right. Who wants the torch slash?
I think it's at most Eerie now.
You go, I need to shuffle.
Yeah.
Misbehaving Ink. Things are going poorly.
What did you call him?
Call me
Spectre.
Spectre. You have to understand, Atmos. What I do is for the
Does
good of
7
the
do
wing.
anything?
To the Shoggoth or the Dread Knight?
I was gonna attack the
I
Shoggoth.
can't speak to
Yeah,
you
it
any
does
further.
damage. It doesn't seem to
Alright.
do much.
Yeah.
I didn't hear
Uh,
everything. What
does
is
the
he talking about? What wing?
Terrifying help?
It doesn't matter.
Stun?
Yeah.
Does the stun actually?
Yeah, you managed to sort
Reality is
of
what
take
you
it off
make
its
of it,
game
Mario.
with a surprising attack of your natural fear-causing ability. Meanwhile, what does Atmos do?
Atmos
With the Imperial soldiers.
grabs the Imperial soldiers.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh
hey guys.
my.
Dear Mom, I just got
you
picked
doing?
to serve the Empire in the Soldier Corps. I'm so happy.
Actually, I was thinking, dear Penthouse, today I grabbed a bunch of
You know, it's
Imperial
funny because I
soldiers.
thought about that earlier, but I didn't want to say that.
Yes.
Also, maybe that's a narrative in season 2. Not the Dear Penthouse.
The
Yeah, the Penthouse
What?
letters. We'll
Ask
have
your
we'll have
Penthouse.
4 Phoenixes and 1 Penthouse letters that will just read a paragraph every turn.
That's what Man Bun sends.
yeah.
Dear Varia, you're so hot. Here's what I thought about the other day.
Is Ink going to send awkward letters?
That was Man Bun.
Ink's gay. Everybody, hey, by the way, Ink was totally gay in life. Just so you know. In case I didn't make that
It
clear.
turns out when you come back as a disembodied and incredibly powerful spirit, sometimes things get wacky.
Yeah.
You get a little hand in the process.
Yeah. No,
Ooh, nice dudes!
Ink as a phoenix was totally pansexual, but in life he was attracted to the lads.
Yes.
What can I say?
Nothing happened. She was a giant wolf, guys.
Yeah. Guys,
We're
come
not
on.
that kind of show.
Come on.
And he only
All
has
right.
sex with Pans. So
I-
I guess.
Yes.
I
Have
use
you ever had
You mean
sex
like
with
the
a
ones
pan?
that were like goat from the waist down?
Shadow Wolf and Everywhere and Nowhere.
Oh, thank
So then
you!
Burning Chrome.
I
Yeah,
needed
never
that.
procced
I
it.
needed
Yeah,
that
it
really
did.
bad.
Go ahead.
So I'll proc Burning Chrome, and I've used the chaos of Eerie flitting around the battlefield, dealing damage to these Dread Knights, to move into the shadows of one of these floating, twisting abortions of architecture. Yeah.
Joshua Dempster, everybody, with the
Yeah.
abortions of architecture. That's your indie band, right?
Yes. And so it's 5, 8, 13. So that's 15 all told for the attack on the Dread Knight, having slunk into the shadows away from their attention while Eerie was causing trouble.
All right. That destroys the Dread Knight that you're fighting.
Thank God.
But you can see it sort of like starting to reform as the power of the Hectarch is still
God damn
animating it. Meanwhile, the Hectarch attacks. That is a. Who took damage from the Hectarch last turn?
I was disappeared.
I think it was me.
Pretty sure I did.
What was the thing?
All right.
great.
Was it the
Whatever.
tube or
Great.
the other thing?
No, it was
Great.
I think you. No, I think you're fine. Now the Hectarch attacks again. This is a strength 10 attack.
Can't defend.
All right. So that's 2 more wounds for you and another one of these afflictiones. Anyone else can defend? Oh, you do get hit by this because it's an area effect.
Oh.
So it's just basically like a blast of terrible negative energy.
I mean, the most I can do right now is 4, but I can lay down Vengeful, so I can do an attack back immediately.
Okay. So take 1 wound from that because you're not really being fully targeted. You're just sort of like catching it as best you can. Or you can take it or a soldier can take it.
Right now, until I have to make Soldier take anything, I want the fucking wounds because they help me.
Soldier's like running behind you, being like, "Come on!" Like every fight, like he like puts the shield down and you step out from behind it. And he's like, "Oh, come on, Varia!"
All right, don't worry, it's coming soon. Can I go ahead and make my attack back, or do you guys want to do
go ahead and make your attack back. But how's your defense?
So I can throw a 5.
Oh, I get to draw a card because of wounds.
So that's 2 more wounds for you. So here is 4 sparks.
Oh, I'm gonna attack the shit out of this guy.
Gets a spark.
Oh!
Jenga!
You guys ruined everything.
Okay. All right.
My
So-
carefully
so at this
constructed
point-
tower.
I take a moment to.
Red Cates?
Welcome for
Red-
following.
Whoever you are, I love you.
We don't-
Redicates.
Retakes.
Redicates. Redicates.
Redicates of a
Redicates.
normal size. I didn't
Redicates.
think they existed.
Red velvet cake.
I like red velvet cake.
Red velvet cake.
Oh, you guys,
Definitely.
why is
I've got a
this?
9.
Why is this happening to
9,
me?
You're fine. Just one more.
What are this?
Okay, I think
Why?
at this point,
First thing you
in the
do is
madness, I
mildly
track down
see.
Ink and pull him aside, and I say that my flame
Fucking
is sputtering.
fuck you guys so much right now.
But if I go down, you will have all my strength.
Thank you. I may not outlast you by very much. And if I don't, this is not the end.
Why do you keep calling Spectre Ink?
You're not hearing Ink. You're hearing
I
Spectre.
can hear everything.
a wildly.
I hear all. Hey, by the way,
All hail the glow cloud.
I know we're avoiding political talk on this stream, but I just want to say, I voted for Kang. Yeah. wait, sorry.
Kang
Don't
and
blame me.
Kodos?
I voted for Kodos. Yeah, there we go. There
I
we
think
go.
secretly
Sorry.
he voted for Kang. All right. That is a Freudalian slip.
Can I make my attack back now?
Yes, you can go.
Yeah.
Because also the Dreadnoughts are going to attack after
Attack
that.
back.
Motherfucker. Okay, I'm gonna use Ruthless. It lets me draw another card. It's a Hector.
Mhm.
So that gives me 10, 15, 18. I'm also disappeared, but that will go away in a minute. So 10, 20, 23, 27, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and it's all brutal damage.
All right. You're.
But actually,
Mm.
let's make it 35
All right.
while I'm at
You
it.
carve another gigantic swath through the Hector because it sort of like pulls together its form, and it seems like it's almost like cowering against your. Ooh.
That was the noise that
What
happened.
noise was that?
Free draw from Braid.
All right.
Braid.
There we go.
Braid just doesn't want.
Braid, what is it like to be
Braid's
so
trying
lovely?
to save us from
Please
imminent
tell
death.
us.
Braid's trying to avoid you killing her in the process. All right, so you.
That's fair.
You do a huge swath against it, but you almost feel like you hear it combination laughing and screaming in terror. It doesn't exist on this level where like physical damage can truly destroy it, but also you're hitting it harder than any force has ever hit it before, and it doesn't really know what to do with that. Meanwhile, the Dread Knights fall down, come in and attack all of you. You're invisible though, or did you come back because you attacked?
Oh,
it?
I guess because I attacked, because I made an
Alright.
attack back, I'm visible again?
So everyone defense 9 again against the slashing blades.
But I
of the
have
Dread
Shadow
Knights.
Wolf again, so.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just realized my anti-spread against your thing
I'm good.
was
9.
actually 5 points higher. It was actually
that?
25.
9, you're fine.
So you understand when he's saying Spectre, he really means ink, and you understand what that means.
I did actually have 25. I just realized because I have Heart of Shadow, that actually plussed up my thing.
So-
I would say because he has smartest man in the room and used it in that though.
Oh,
that I would-
probably,
that,
but I'm
like,
just
he
saying-
managed to whammy you for a while.
I'm just saying, it was a fucking hell of a spread.
Yeah, oh, it was a good spread. No one's trying to say you had a bad spread.
Okay, so friends all assembled. I cannot make a defense spread against that.
Braid will take it.
And 1 or 2.
I mean, I could try and... well, I can't really do
Well,
much.
I hate to destroy player agency, and I don't have my chat monitor up.
It's all
Braid,
right.
do you want to take this or not? Because you can force your way into this death, and then force Ink into one more round at least of combat. You guys want to tell me whatever Braid says?
Yeah. What are we defending against?
This is a attack 9.
I can do 7.
How are they doing health wise?
But I'm gonna have to give
how-
something to
how-
Soldier.
How are Braid doing health wise?
No, the attacker.
Oh, the Dread Knights, there's a lot of them, so like they're all pretty well up. That's gonna be one more that Soldier's gonna have to take because otherwise you'll go down.
Yeah, I would like to not die right now.
Yeah. So, Braid, do you either jump on this this grenade or you don't. And if you don't, then you can continue fighting for Atmos or whoever. But right now,
I wish I had Death Wish.
She
I would
will.
just put Soldier in
okay.
front.
So, much to your chagrin, as you sort of like realize you don't have it and sort of like drop your guard and like look on, almost sort of welcoming what happens next because of your devious plans, you start seeing in the corners of your... What's that? Yeah. You start seeing in the corners of your vision like the tips of vines as like Braid basically like vine teleports in front of you and gets chopped in half, and Braid sort of like dissipates and incinerates instantly into her next incarnation. Sorry, this was rank 7 for Braid.
Hey,
So
Braid.
Braid's out.
Oh no!
Don't worry, Braid. Your flame lives on.
I want you to message me on Facebook. Let's talk about this, okay?
Yep. Uh-oh.
Excuse you?
Uh-oh.
Heyo.
I feel like your marshal should have a conversation about that. All right, so.
Message me and Mac on Facebook, and
Yes,
let's talk
please.
about
Yes.
this, okay?
All right, looks like Braid
Hashtag
is
Braid.
seeing the thing after briefly, and it's sort of like, I think even though Braid like sort of has a physicality because Braid is like comprised of like wooden vines, Braid sees in all directions because her eyes are basically just sort of vestigial. They're just sort of ornamental. At this point, she's just basically a living tree. So she sees you disappointed you're not taking the last hit. So the last thing that Braid thing Braid thinks is, what? And then boom! And then and wood splinters in all directions. Meanwhile, Soldier gets his shield up between you and the last fatal blow against you.
Are you happy now?
I won't be happy until I do my job. I get hit. I get up. I get hit. I get up. He starts like hammering on his shield. Get hit.
Oh.
Get
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
somewhere out there, the Phoenix named Chumbawamba is like, oh, fucking really?
Oh, come on now. That was a small bit, right? I mean, we all agreed to that, yeah?
Top thumper?
Seriously, Braid. Please hit me up.
Yes, let's
Yeah.
all talk, please.
All right.
He doesn't have to be included.
No, I don't, but talk to Mac.
Braid approves, by the way.
Okay. So meanwhile, now it's anyone's torch because it's clear that your physical attacks while doing extreme damage to the Hectarch are not actually wearing it down.
God damn it.
There's a lot of Dreadnoughts though. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually going to.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I can hit hard, but... Oh, that was my next choice.
Today I'm gonna plug Mac Bouvet.
Why?
Bouvet. Mac's amazing. You should watch things that Mac DMs.
The whole one thing that I haven't
Yeah.
DM'd. Although, fun fact, chat. DMing this game for Season 2 is actually going to be my first time DMing ever. So that will either go really well or horrifically. There are the only two options right there.
Yes.
But I will say that, there are a fair amount of, probably people who are werewolf fans in the world. There are a fair amount of, generally spooky girls. But, there's only one Mac, and it's super awesome that she's
is
a
for
member
the
of the
best
Saving
for the
Throw
world.
family. And I think you should do your best to support her both in this and all endeavors. One of these days you'll cosplay again, and people should be super fanning of
Oh,
that.
yeah, I've been busy doing other things.
Well, it's good. No, I'm not saying I'm not. It's not a judgment.
Although I will be at WonderCon, I will be cosplaying there.
Yep.
And I just got added to a cosplay group for Sunday of San Diego Comic Con. So I'm
Nice.
still going to be cosplaying. I just have some other things I need to devote monies to, including my house, which needs some
Yeah.
repairs.
Well, all I'm saying is, you know,
Thanks,
the Max
Wayne.
of the world who especially will happily jump in to run a game that I am running out of bandwidth for, deserve your fandom and do your best to support Mac and Strange Like That and other things.
Also, we got funding for the anti-meat trade film that Tracy
Nice.
King, who is also a part of the Saving Throw family, is doing. And she's told me I'm allowed to say that I will be the embodiment of her